health for a better you. Learn more at Metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Celebrate 42 years of tradition at Milwaukee's original house party. Join us on Milwaukee's beautiful lakefront, July 26th, 27th, and 28th for authentic German food, music, beer, and dancing. Experience the excitement of the Glockenspiel, Dachshund Derby, Culture Village, Mardi Gras Show, Trauchenschau, Sheep's Head Tournament, and much more. For more information, tickets, and admission discounts, visit GermanFest.com. Don't miss the fun. See you at GermanFest. Holla!
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Tuesday, July 23rd. Our top story, a high-profile Milwaukee campaign rally.
I'm Erik. Bilstad. A major airline still reeling from a data outage.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and we got problems on northbound 4394. Our car fully engulfed in flames off on the right shoulder, just north of National Avenue as you're getting onto the high-rise bridge. Heads up with that. Obviously, emergency crews are on their way if they haven't already arrived, so be careful with that. Otherwise, the rest of the system, we are looking at a pretty good ride. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Scattered storms likely today, humid as well with a high of 82 degrees. Scattered storms may continue tonight with low down to 65. Milwaukee at 68 as we get you started from the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Decision, Wisconsin Vice President Kamala Harris due to make her fifth visit to our state this year today.
This will be Vice President Harris's first appearance in Wisconsin since she became the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party following President Joe Biden's decision to drop out of the race over the weekend. The White House says Harris will land at Milwaukee Mitchell International around 11:30 this morning before heading to a political event to deliver remarks. A location for the event has not yet been made public. The visit comes as Wisconsin Democratic Party Chair Ben Wickler says more than 90% of the state's delegates are supporting Harris. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Yeah, the vice president now has the number of pledged delegates she needs to clinch the Democratic presidential nomination, including more than 90% from here in Wisconsin. Her team now focused on the process of choosing a running mate, ABC's Jonathan Karl.
Speculation among Democrats close to Harris has focused on several elected officials, including North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper, who has been elected governor twice in a state Democrats hope to win this year. Popular first-term Governor Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania, a state Harris needs to win. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, a moderate and a rare Democratic governor in a red state. And former astronaut and Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, husband of Gabby Giffords.
Across the aisle, Republicans questioning the vice president's qualifications. Waukesha County Executive Paul Farrow telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News he's not happy with her track record as VP.
She was given the responsibility to negotiate with Central American countries to figure out how to solve the border issue. She's never gone to the border. What has she done to prove that she is presidential?
And Farrell says if the replacement were going to happen, they should have done it before the primaries.
Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson on this very program not too long ago said he was going to cast his support behind President Biden, but now things have changed.
I have been a Biden backer from the beginning, just wall to wall. I was riding with Biden.
Mayor Johnson tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News that made Sunday a difficult day.
I respected the president's decision to stay in the race, and I believe that had he stayed in the race that he could have won, but it was his choice. It was his decision, and ultimately he decided to bow out of the race, and I respect that decision too.
And now he's all in on VP Kamala Harris as the nominee.
I believe that she will win the nomination come the DNC, we'll go on to election in November, on my birthday, November 5th, and will become the 47th president of the United States.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Director of the U.S. Secret Service Kimberly Cheadle admitting her agency failed in its mission to protect former President Donald Trump while testifying on Capitol Hill Monday. Democrats and Republicans united in their frustrations during the hearing. News Nation's Shannon Halligan.
Director Cheadle acknowledged that the Secret Service was told about a suspicious person 2 to 5 times before the shooting at the Pennsylvania rally, but could not answer numerous questions more than a week after the shooting.
It has been 10 days since an assassination attempt on a former president of the United States, regardless of party. There need to be answers.
Cheadle remained defiant that she was the right person to lead the Secret Service.
Cheadle now facing growing calls to resign from members of both parties.
Delta passengers at airports across the country still waiting out delays and cancellations following the Microsoft CrowdStrike computer outage from last week. The airline says it's hoping for better days ahead. Now, while other airlines got back to normal in the days after Friday's outage, Delta still had to cancel 950 flights on Monday alone.
Coming up, a South African nation calling bull on a popular spectacle. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 6:05.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only this Friday through Sunday. Get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
This is Brad Youngbooth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. We have 2 big humps in this business, right before summer and right after fall. And for us, that's when the lines are the longest. Folks usually choose to do their exterior work during those times, and what I'm trying to do here with this message is level out the flow of business so that we don't have to disappoint anyone come November and December because they were hoping to get their work done before the snow flies. I understand where the focus is during summer, but you know what? It really is a great time to get signed up for your exterior work, like siding and windows, because that's when the lines are the shortest, and it's the one time that we're pretty sure we're not going to get any snow. So if you're looking to get your work done, why put it off? The lines are shorter and we'll be ready. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, call Semper Fi, because you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Join an unforgettable weekend of summer fun when the Brewers play the Marlins July 26th through the 28th. Be here for Yacht Rock Night on Friday and a Hawaiian shirt giveaway Saturday. Get your seats at Brewers.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
So Jordan Love not on the practice field as the Packers open training camp. We'll hear from General Manager Brian Gutekunst coming up at 6:15.
Investigators looking into what caused a deadly plane crash on Monday near the EAA AirVenture Air Show in Oshkosh. It was the first day of the show. That crash killed 2 people. It happened near Old Knapp Road in the town of Nikimi. Steve Zulitz telling TMJ4 News he's visiting from Baltimore. He saw it happen.
We looked down to the south and saw the smoke coming up over the trees. It was a small plume at first, and then it rapidly intensified to a larger plume.
The NTSB is investigating the cause of that crash.
A vigil Monday evening remembering the life of a 6-year-old child, Zane McTee Adams. Milwaukee police say he was the victim of child abuse. Zane's uncle, Frank Adams, telling TMJ4 News.
He gone way too soon. It don't make no sense how crazy and deranged people are these days. I can't stand it.
A 33-year-old woman in custody is expected to face charges in the coming days. Family members say she is not Zane's mother.
In a major cultural shift, the South American country of Colombia is banning bullfighting.
Colombia's President Gustavo Petro went to the bull ring in the capital city of Bogota to sign the bill approved by Colombia's Congress. It calls for no bullfights by 2027. Fans of bullfighting say that violates the rights of minorities to express their cultural heritage and will challenge the law. But for now, it further reduces the short list of nations where the centuries-old tradition remains legal. Michael Toscano, CBS News.
I think we're going to phase out the bullfighting.
Why not just stop?
We don't want it to be too jarring. Mercure's been to a bullfight.
Is that right?
I've been to, yeah.
You have too?
Yeah, when I was in Spain. Yep.
Did you have like mixed feelings about it? I know John
Yes.
did. Like he said, it was exciting and it was a spectacle, but also like you're just witnessing the butchering of this animal.
Yes. They're typically there's 6 bulls, and culminating with the biggest one at the end. By the time you get to that one, you're kind of desensitized. But for me, I went with a good friend of mine who her father was like totally into it, and she learned it as a little kid, understanding like, it's like when you sit at a football game and they talk about the X's and O's. There's actually X's and O's involved with bullfighting. So that aspect and the pageantry was very cool. The killing of the bull, not so much.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. So,
We're going to phase that out there in
Yeah.
Colombia by 2027. 6:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
When you have a stuffy nose, life can be a bit unpleasant. Some live every day with a stuffy nose, and that can make life downright miserable. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent, where we are committed to eliminating your nasal breathing problems with simple in-office procedures like balloon sinuplasty, which requires no surgical cuts, little to no downtime, and can have you breathing better in less than 30 minutes. At Advent, we understand your inability to breathe freely limits your quality of life. And that's why we continue to pioneer the most advanced in-office procedures that have made our practice a global destination for those seeking to live their highest quality of life. Visit AdventKnows.com to see if you're a candidate for the balloon sinuplasty procedure. Because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary. Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
What's happening on the roads here, Deb?
All righty. Well, we got this fire going on northbound 4394. They put it out. Fire crews are there, and they are blocking that right lane. So you want to be extra careful as you're coming up onto that point. Outside of that, we're actually moving along pretty well. No other incidents up on the board, so I think we're in good shape. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. We have showers and storms in the forecast today, starting later this morning into this afternoon. High temperatures in the lower 80s, and you'll notice more humidity across the area. Tonight, the chance for scattered showers and storms continues. Low temperatures in the 60s. We could see an isolated rain shower or thunderstorm linger into Wednesday morning as the cold front sweeps through. By Wednesday afternoon, we'll dry out with high temperatures in the upper 70s. Then listen to this stretch of weather. Thursday, upper 70s, plenty of sunshine. Friday, near 80, mostly sunny skies. And Saturday, lower 80s with mostly sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee tip at 68 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Carrying the mantle now as the presumptive Democratic nominee for president, Vice President Kamala Harris visits Milwaukee today. Due to fly into Milwaukee Mitchell International late morning, the campaign due to security reasons, and this is pretty standard, what we've seen, both sides do this, but in particular to the Democrats, whether it be President Biden or Vice President Harris, they've been late to release details on any of their official visits. The campaign telling us that around the noon hour, we can expect traffic issues with the motorcade, the vice president due to fly in a late morning. This is a campaign visit, so not official VP business. Vice president due to deliver remarks at a local school. She'll be on the ground only about 3 hours today, so pretty quick in and out. But it is her first official campaign event as the Democrats start to rally behind her.
And she has secured commitments from enough delegates to become the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee, including here in Wisconsin, Democratic Party Chair Ben Wickler.
More than 90% of Wisconsin's 95 delegates have already pledged their support for Vice President Harris at the convention.
Wickler also says he doesn't know any delegates who are going to vote against Harris. Meanwhile, in Delaware, the vice president speaking to staffers at the campaign headquarters in Wilmington.
It is my intention to go out and earn this nomination and to win.
And during that chat, we also heard from the president. President Biden calling in to give some remarks.
The name has changed at the top of the ticket, but the mission hasn't changed at all. And by the way, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be out there in the campaign with her, with Kamala. I'm going to be working like hell.
So we expect to see President Biden perhaps on the campaign trail from what he said there. Plus, I would imagine he did say in his statement on Sunday that he was going to address the nation at some point as well. We would assume that would be later this week.
I'm interested in the optics of how often they appear together. Yes, the president still has the power of the presidency and still can go out and do campaign things, and he remains popular within his party, perhaps more so now that he's done. What did you hear from Democrats? He did the patriotic
the heroic,
thing. He stepped aside.
Yep.
So he has
country
value,
before ego.
But Republicans are going to work very hard to tie the vice president to what they believe is largely an unpopular president. So do they appear together in a lot of things? Something to watch in the coming days. 6:15 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Our manager.
Yeah, we made a huge adjustment with the bases loaded.
Their manager.
He's a bum. He wants to go to Chicago. Fine. I'm glad you suck.
Our manager.
And I got emotional when he hit it because I'm just so freaking happy for him.
Their manager.
You're a traitor.
It's the Brewers headed to AmFam South to take on the Cubs. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Sorry for cussing.
Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. It's Pella Day at my house again today, E.
Ooh, here we go.
Gina Dell and her son Alex coming by for a visit. We're going to pick out that front door for the house.
Okay.
Told you this has been a sore spot for the last decade and a half since we moved into the house for my wife. She's like, really would like a new front door. So that's among the things in the next project at our home. Can't wait to see. They've got a new product line for exterior doors.
Cool.
And your storms and all of that other stuff. So really excited to see our options there with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. And more affordable now than ever for you. You can spread your payments out over, month by month, and you pay as low as $18 per window, $81 per patio door per month. Pella does the installation, little mess, no hassle. They leave nothing behind but perfect results. That's been our experience so far. And now you can pay as low as $18 a month per window, $81 a month per patio door when you visit Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Certain restrictions do apply, and this offer ends at the end of the month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Yeah, you can't win every game. Basically, I think is what we learned from Monday night. Sloppy, forgetful game for the Crew as they fall 3-1 to the Cubs at Wrigley Field. Rookie pitcher Tobias Myers was good. 5 1/3, 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. But it was a balk and a throwing error and a wild pitch that did him in.
The right-hander deals, and he bounced it in the dirt. It gets away from Contreras. Runner breaks for the plate. Throw home. Myers tag. Late. Scoring is Tauchman. He just beat the tag of the pitcher. And on a wild pitch, the Cubs doubled the lead.
It also didn't help that the Brewers let the bases loaded twice.
I think our youth showed tonight. Tobias was fabulous. He threw the ball great, but the balk, obviously the wild pitch with an 0-2 pitch, with bases loaded, and obviously throwing the ball away at second. That accounted for 2 of the 3 runs.
Yeah, Pat Murphy there. So the Cubs starter, Javier Assad, walked 6 guys in less than 4 innings. So
He
the
couldn't
Brewers
hit water if he fell out of a boat for a stretch there, and we couldn't capitalize.
Inexplicably, somehow the Crew could not score a run. I don't know how that's even. It's hard to do that. It's hard not to score there.
Accidentally.
Adames solo shot in the 8th. That's the only scoring for the Brewers. Just got to flush this one and move on. Colin Ray on the Hill tonight. Same 2 teams right here on WTMJ 7:05 first pitch. Our coverage starts right after the news at 6.
Packers training camp continues today. Open to the fans. Practice at Ray Nitschke Field across from Lambeau, 10:30 a.m. Unless there's some big announcement this morning, and there could be. quarterback Jordan Love will not participate in practice.
I'm optimistic. These are big deals. It takes time. They're not as easy as some people may think.
Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst there saying at the open of camp they're close to a long-term deal with Love, who has 1 year remaining on the extension that he signed last season. But Love, who has reported to camp, Goody saying he's doing everything else. He will not be practicing until that deal is done.
We're talking about practice.
And the wide receiver Jaden Reed coming into camp with an injury, keeping him out. He apparently suffered said injury at his youth football camp recently. Gutekunst on that.
Yeah, I think he just tweaked something in his camp. I don't know if an 8-year-old beat him on a route or something, but we don't. It's nothing that we expect to be too.
Packers aren't worried about it.
I'm glad he's making a joke about it.
Right,
that's a good sign.
That tells you where he's at. Reed apparently said nothing to worry about. Also, hopefully that deal with Love gets done sooner rather than later.
Team USA wins over Germany in men's basketball, 92-88, the final tune-up before the Olympics.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
There's nothing worse than a contractor's job dragging on for weeks at your house. At 2 Day Painting, they handle it all with, and I know they were in my house, the greatest of care and urgency. Vince Vitrano here with a summer special offer from 2 Day Painting. Now's a great time to get your exterior work done. Still room on the schedule to have your house not only painted, but also fixed up. 2 Day Painting, they'll handle cracked and missing caulk, rotten wood, peeling paint before the winter comes and those problems all get worse on you. And because they're committed to putting a full crew on every job, they complete the work beautifully and efficiently. And here's the deal right now. You take advantage of the summer special, 15% off the cost of your project when you tell them Vinny sent you. And there's more. 10% off, or back rather, up to $1,000 to spend on a winter job later this year. 262-706-1135, 262-706-1135, 2daypainting.com.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve's Committee for Universal Windows Direct. For every 2 windows you buy, get 2 free. Buy 2, get 2. Buy 4, get 4. Call 414-410-2000. Schedule your free in-home estimate today. For every 2 windows you buy, get the next 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months, 5 years. Restrictions apply. Tell them I told you to call. Get an additional $250 off your project for the last windows you'll ever need. Go to uwd.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Sendik's limited time hatch pepper event is back. Order your fresh or roasted hatch peppers now at sendix.com/hatch.
Roasted, please. Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Debbie?
All right, northbound 4394. We do still have this vehicle fire being cleaned up. Now, the fire has been put out. But they do still have that right lane blocked. So we're starting to see delays from Lapham all the way up to the base of the high-rise bridge, something to keep in mind. Other than that, everything else is rolling along really well. We've got light volume, a little bit tight on westbound 894, but that's pretty much typical through that construction zone between Loomis and 68th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Scattered storms are likely today, humid, a high of 82. Tonight, more scattered storms, a low of 65. Wednesday, some chance for rain in the morning, otherwise partly cloudy, high of 77. Thursday, sunny, 77. Friday, sunny, 80. Saturday, sunny, and 83. Right now, 67 at 623.
Mama said there'll be days like this.
So, yeah, went up to EAA on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. Air Venture in Oshkosh runs through the weekend. I'm with my son Max, and we're parking the car, and there's this big van load of a family pulling up right next to us, and they're getting out at the same time, and there's a little commotion, maybe the kids complaining, whining, whatever.
Sure.
I hear Mom say, "Good night, get out of this van. And they were just getting there.
And the day's about to begin.
Hey, look, we've all been there. What to visit this week with the kids and how to avoid a family meltdown. Founder of Milwaukee with Kids, mkewithkids.com. Friend of the program, Callie Herbst with us this morning. Hey, Callie.
Good morning. Yeah, it's an exciting weekend in Milwaukee for sure.
So let's run through some of the stuff happening and ask you to help us out, help navigate a family trip for some of these events. Let's start with EAA AirVenture. Bring the kids. That's a definite yes for me. 18 and under get free admission, but you're going to walk around a lot. You're outside and it's hot.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I'm not going to say anything earth shattering, but yeah, make sure everybody's hydrated, make sure you've got snacks. Make sure, you've got the sunscreen and all of that. And if the museum is open, head in there as well because you can cool down in there and it's so cool in there and there's an amazing children's and kids area.
Okay, so we got Harley-Davidson Homecoming starting this week. The official events begin on Thursday. Is that a yes with kids or a no with kids?
Well, interestingly enough, they are doing a couple special events in that new Davidson Park just for this homecoming event. So on July 25th and July 26th, that park is going to be open with free events specifically for families. So that's a big yes in Davidson Park. Obviously, some of the concerts and stuff are going to be more for, the parents and adults. But yeah, those Davidson Park activities, totally free, and it's going to be packed with activities.
So, I've been to some Harley stuff that's not even for most adults, in the best of ways, but you got to know which party you're going to for sure. Right.
That Davidson Park, that's brand new. That's super cool to see.
Yeah, it's a really cool area, and the Betty Bryn Wonder Wagon's going to be there. The Milwaukee County Zoo is going to be there with activities. They're going to have a bonfire and s'mores on the 25th. It's going to be great.
We got the Milwaukee Air and Water Show Saturday and Sunday if you don't want to head up to Oshkosh. So that's going to be on display. Kind of some of the same principles apply to that one. Again, I think kids are great. I brought my little kids once. I think the twins were maybe 2. And we had the F-15 flyover. And my kids...
How'd that go?
Maybe a little too young for the air show.
Yeah, a lot of our readers do go to this with kids of all ages, but with those younger kids, they bring the noise-canceling headphones, and that makes a big difference. So definitely with the younger kids who might be scared of the sound, bring some headphones. And then we have a lot of great recommendations from our readers for places to see this because that center point is Villa Terrace and McKinley Park. But you can watch it from Solomon Juneau Park, from the Art Museum area, from Veterans Park. So you can get a little further away so that you're watching it more from afar and it's not quite as loud. But definitely the headphones are important.
I remember watching my boys throwing rocks into the lake. Meanwhile, there's planes doing barrel rolls above them. I'm like, hey, just look in the air for a second.
Hey, look, I found a rock. But kind of let them do their thing, right, Callie?
Got to.
Oh, definitely. My kids of all ages loved the air show. It's just a different thing to do. As if it's nice weather, it's just a perfect reason to go downtown and be at the park and be by the lake. Yeah, I think it's a great activity.
German Fest down at Meyer Festival Park as well this weekend. That's a good family event. But again, if you're going to bring the kids, expect to, you only have so much time and buy them some food and fun stuff to do.
Yeah, if you're going to go down there, expect to spend a little bit of money, just manage expectations, yours and theirs. But they've got a lot of fun things to do at German Fest. They have the Dachshund Derby, which is so fun with the little dogs running around. They have a huge children's activity area where you can decorate your shirts and, the whole playground is completely new. But yeah, they've got tons of kids' activities, a children's stage with music and dance, bumper boats. It's a blast. And I just think if you manage your expectations, you can have a great day out.
That's great advice. Founder Milwaukee with Kids, mkewithkids.com. Callie Herbst. Thanks, Callie.
Have a good one.
And I absolutely do not want to hear you're bored. Anyone
Don't tell me you're bored.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average up about 128 points to 40,415. The NASDAQ closed at 18,008. That was up more than 280 points. And the S&P 500 at 5564. That climbed nearly 60 points. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Vince Vitrano for Absolute Comfort HVAC and Electrical. I'm joined by Nicole. She and her husband Brent own the company. Nicole, why should folks call you guys?
Because we treat your home like ours. That means honest and high quality work. We want you to be a part of our family. We're there for your emergencies when you need it, but most important to us is building a long-term relationship for all of your HVAC and electrical needs.
Absolute Comfort HVAC and Electrical, 262-664-9284, yourcomfortguys.com.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
David Nason of The Fix-It Show here with my friend Chris Mancuso of Accurate Basement Repair.
Hey, David, did you know it's been the third wettest spring here in Milwaukee, like since 1870?
Seriously? Tell us more.
Well, it's a great time to get down in that basement and take the smell test. If it smells musty, take a flashlight, take a look around, see what you have.
As a home inspector, I know firsthand, do not procrastinate. Have your basement looked at ASAP or visit AccurateBasementRepair.com because they're not just good, they're accurate.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Northbound 4394, kind of tied up right now. We got delays coming up from Lincoln Avenue all the way up to the high-rise bridge where you will find the right lane blocked with a vehicle fire. The fire's out. They're just doing the cleanup, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, westbound 894 heavy from 27th Street to about 68th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Scattered storms possible today, humid as well with a high of 82 degrees. Those scattered storms possible once again tonight. Tonight's low down to 65, but then we hit a really nice stretch. Partly cloudy with some morning showers on Wednesday, then sunshine for the rest of the week.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. It's back to work today for President Biden, who announced over the weekend he will not be seeking re-election. ABC's Selena Wang is in Delaware, where Biden has been recovering.
President Biden is finally set to end his COVID isolation here in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. He's planning to return to the White House this afternoon. Now, he's been isolating here since late Wednesday, and this will be the first time we're seeing Biden out in public since he made that historic decision and completely upended this race.
Kamala Harris, whose Biden is endorsing in the race, has now secured enough delegates to make her the presumptive Democratic nominee ahead of the national convention in Chicago. Delta Airlines canceling more flights today as it continues to try to recover from the computer meltdown last week. Delta has canceled more than 5,000 flights since Friday. Secret Service Director Kim Cheadle says her agency failed in its mission when Donald Trump was nearly assassinated earlier this month. She tells Congress, so she won't resign. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Vice President Kamala Harris due to make her fifth visit to Wisconsin today. White House says she will land at Milwaukee Mitchell late this morning before heading to a political event to deliver remarks. Location of the event is still not being publicly released. This will be the Vice President's first appearance in the Badger State since she has taken the mantle as presumptive nominee for the Democrats following President Biden's decision to drop out of the race.
Milwaukee State Senator Chris Larson tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News he believes the party is better off in this election with Harris at the head of the ticket.
And that, look, in 2020, he ran as the only person that could beat Donald Trump. And it turned out in 2024, he was the only candidate that could lose to Donald Trump. And I think he did not want to go out on that note.
Larson says he's seen a resurgence of excitement about the election since the decision was made.
Milwaukee police still have not announced any arrests in connection with a mass shooting that left a teenage girl dead, 9 others injured at Deneen Park on the city's west side. Neighbors telling TMJ4 News bullet holes left in houses near the scene of the shooting, which they believe was caused by people not from the neighborhood.
I heard the gunshots, and I heard something in the living room fall. And then when I came out, it was through the window, 2 over here and 1 through the sunroom.
Yeah, Investigators report that dozens of teens were holding a so-called car party fueled by social media late Sunday night when a fight escalated into that shooting.
An update to a child abuse death of a 6-year-old, Zane McCuddy Adams. Milwaukee police investigating the death as a child abuse situation. Now, a woman is in custody. Now, Zane's grandmother, Yvette Adams, tells TMJ4 News.
I just been crying. I can't stop. It just hurt me. This just hurt my soul. I love him, and I know he's in heaven, and I'm going to see my baby again.
Now, the family says the woman arrested is not Zane's mother and that his father is currently incarcerated.
A pilot is safe after a helicopter crash in southwest Wisconsin. Chopper crashed into a field north of Cuba City in Lafayette County. Apparently struck a telephone line. The pilot, 40 years old, Lauren Friedel from Smyrna, Georgia, was the only person in the chopper and did not report any injuries.
Expect some rain and thunderstorms in southeast Wisconsin today. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore says the rain and storms will come in two waves, one around mid-morning, another later this afternoon, reignited by that midday sun.
Some of these could have some really heavy downpours. They're going to be slow movers. They're not very fast because this cold front is moving very slow. So they're going to hang around a little bit through this evening. There could be some heavy rain, some small hail, gusty winds, but the severe weather threat looks very, very low for today.
The complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up at 6:40.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday, get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
You are a guaranteed winner with Siding Unlimited, Wisconsin's best contractor for your home's beauty and defense. Siding Unlimited is siding, of course, but so much more. Windows, roofing, decks. Siding Unlimited is recognized as the MVP in all those areas by customers and suppliers alike. You want major league work done on your house, so start by contacting Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
Brewers stumble in Chicago, both literally and figuratively. They go again tonight against the Cubs. We'll do sports at 6:45.
The Olympics kick off on Friday in Paris with the opening ceremonies. On Monday, it was announced that LeBron James would be one of the flag bearers. We should learn the other flag bearer today. That'll probably come out later this morning. Meanwhile, athletes now are starting to arrive in the Olympic Village, surprised by the cardboard beds.
Diver Tom Daly posting about the cardboard beds athletes will have to sleep on.
As you can see, it's like a box. Then you've got the mattress, and then these cardboard boxes here, like so, with the mattress on top and a mattress topper.
Paris organizers have said the beds were chosen for environmental reasons, not to discourage athletes from having, say, too much fun.
They're pretty sturdy.
Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News.
Yeah, because there was some thought.
My guy back here, they're pretty sturdy. Right.
There was some thought that the reason for the beds was to discourage any of that stuff.
So if it's just the base they're talking about and it's stable enough, you got a nice mattress on top, you're okay. But
provided it's a nice mattress, I mean, you're talking about athletes who are in primo condition,
right,
who need to be in perfect shape.
God love Mother Earth, but shouldn't that be the first thing when you're planning, like, what is best for these athletes to perform at their optimal level?
What, like the most amazing expensive beds for everybody?
No, but like, I'm not saying you got to do sleep comfort throughout, but you know.
How many actually stay in the Village? Like LeBron James doesn't stay in it. No, some of them get like hotels, don't they, or something? You're telling me that the U.S. women's gymnastics team is in these
sleeping
things,
on cardboard,
or the men's team USA or women's team USA basketball teams are in there? Come on.
Well, ask Lori's covered it before, right? She's been in multiple Olympics. We got Lori Nickel joining us just before 7 o'clock today. Let's ask Lori.
All right,
if you have to stay in the Village. Okay.
Fine. 10 minutes from now.
Fine. 6:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Traffic is sponsored by Milwaukee's Original House Party. Celebrate 42 years of tradition at Germanfest this weekend. Celebrate 42 years of Germanfest, July 26th, 27th, and 28th. $5 admission Friday. Free admission for active military, veterans, and one companion all day, any day.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score for Choice and Platinum Choice checking customers. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit score from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Gorgeous summer days and nights are still on the docket, but you don't want to sit in the hot sun. Hi, everybody. Debbie Loziga here for Comfort Awnings, and I got to tell you, when I had folks over in the summer last year, right in the afternoon, the sun was beating down on my patio. I felt really bad for my guests as they sat and baked and squinted just to try and sit and chat. Well, no more. I called Comfort Awnings in Burlington, and they came out, measured my home, helped me pick out the colors and fabrics for my very own retractable awning. Now, whenever people come over, I know I can provide them with some lovely shade. No more squinting, no more sweating, just comfort. It's in their name. If you want to provide comfort for your backyard, give them a call at 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperFiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Ask about our finance options.
Traffic is sponsored by the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring positive, professional servers, bartenders, and pizza cooks. You'll make real cash. Inquire today and start next week. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
Let's get an update on your morning drive. Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning, Vince. Looks like they cleared up this issue on the high-rise bridge. It was a vehicle fire on the northbound side of 4394. They had a right lane taken out for this and everything. Well, they got it cleaned up. We were just dealing with the delays left over, though, from Lincoln Avenue all the way up to the high-rise. Other than that, westbound 894, usual backups from 20th Street all the way past 68th. And then on westbound 94, just a bit tight heading right through the stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Showers and thunderstorms are back in the forecast for today. They will be scattered with high temperatures in the lower 80s. Tonight, the chance for rain showers and thunderstorms continues. Low temperatures dropping down into the mid-60s. Wednesday morning, the cold front moves through. The small chance for rain shower early, then drying things out with high temperatures in the upper 70s. Plenty of sunshine on Thursday. High temperatures in the upper 70s. Another beautiful day on Friday. Highs near 80 with mostly sunny skies. Saturday, lower 80s with plenty of sunshine. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore. The Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 68 degrees. EAA AirVenture Oshkosh continues this morning. Week-long celebration of aviation kicking off on Monday. That was was a scorcher right there. A lot of that sound at the daily air shows, including everything from aerobatics to fighter jets. Things did kick off, sadly, with a small plane going down early in day one near the airport.
Do know that an airplane went down there. The Milwaukee Flight Standards District Office has informed us there were 2 fatalities because of that incident. We're still learning more information right now. And
it's EAA's Dick Napinski. I talked with him just after that crash happened. Eric, I was on my way in, riding up with my son to get a whole bunch of stories up there. And as we were just north of Fond du Lac, I could see the smoke.
You could, yeah.
See smoke, and it was black smoke. And I look at my kid, and I'm like, I don't like where that smoke is. And I'm like, I know this area. I worked in Green Bay. I've covered EAA how many times. I lived in Oshkosh for a year. I'm like, that sets up to be right near the airfield, and I don't like that. And sadly, my fears were confirmed. These things happen at EAA. You have 10,000 aircraft flying into East Central Wisconsin for the week. It's sad, but the show goes on. I mean, these pilots and enthusiasts support that. That doesn't mean they don't mourn the loss, but they understand. So it's a convention, more than 600,000 entries expected for the week. And a lot of folks who just want to see airplanes, but there's also some really wonky stuff that goes on. This is like an industry thing.
Okay.
So you have, in terms of journalism, like niche publications that are for people who fly planes, both professionally and as a hobby. And so they get into the weeds on a lot of stuff. I was in this news conference where they're talking about the components of jet fuel.
Oh,
I was waiting for some of the other parts. I'm like, this is all well and good, but y'all work this out, right? Then you got, other folks who are just there to have fun.
it's not only entertainment, there's a lot of technical stuff that goes on here during the week.
I just want to see planes fly really fast. I can see that, right?
Airplanes fly really fast here. I tell you, we're going to have, they beat up the air and make a lot of noise, and so everything from the F-22, F-35, A-10s, the Canadian F-18 will be here, so we'll have all of that if you like the big, fast whiz-bang stuff.
Again, Dick Napinski there. He's been with EAA since the Wright brothers, I think. He's been there for a long time.
Great guy.
A lot of chances to get up close to, and in some cases, even inside aircraft on display.
And there's like controls not only in front, but also behind and on the ceiling.
So it looks like that would probably be a pretty tough job.
Yeah.
So the family, they had the little ones up in the cockpit of the C-17 Globemaster, which is bigger than your house. It's one of these big transport planes. So I've got a bunch of stories from EAA that will be running through the week here on Wisconsin's Morning News. AirVenture runs through Sunday. Gates open at 7 a.m. daily.
If you're looking for a new couch, you could cut down on expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Because you know you've had this couch for too long. Sure, you've had good times together, but a ripped-up cushion is not a fond memory. It's a sign. Notice how other people have couches with 2 armrests? Now that's living, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renters and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new couch. Please, it's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Well, that was a game you'd rather not watch and you'll rather not ever think about ever again. Usually, Vince, when the opposing pitcher walks 6 of your guys in less than 4 innings, you score a run. That was not the case for the Crew. The Brewers, with the bases loaded twice early in Monday's game, could not get it done.
We had opportunity and, didn't get that big hit.
Yeah, Pat Murphy chalking this one up to youth, really. Says his guys just didn't have good at-bats when they had an opportunity to take a couple of pitches or whatever. He praised rookie pitcher Tobias Myers, though, for going 5 1/3, giving up 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. But silly things like a balk, a Myers throwing error, and a wild pitch ultimately did him in. The Brewers fall 3-1 to the Cubs in a game you just want to flush. And Adames' solo shot in the 8th was the only scoring run for the Brewers. Same teams tonight. Brewers, Cubs from Wrigley. First pitch, 7:05. Our coverage begins right after the news at 6 right here on WTMJ.
Packers hit the practice field again today after launching the 2024 training camp Monday. Not all the Packers are practicing.
This is something we're all working on, and we certainly understand where he's coming from. We'd like him to be out there. It's important for him to be out there. Obviously, you guys know how important practice is, and working with his teammates. But as of now, until we get that resolved, he will not be practicing. He'll be taking part in. He reported last week. He's taking part in everything else.
Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst. He is, of course, Packers quarterback Jordan Love, with whom the Packers say they are close to a long-term extension, but a little bit of a surprise that Love wasn't a full participant.
Yeah.
If they are indeed that close, but I guess close is not signed. Love is expected to get north of $50 million a year in this new deal. Until it gets signed, he says he's not going to practice. So Goody says, you heard him. He's reported to camp. He's here. He's doing all the other stuff. He's not going to be on the practice field. Practice open to fans once again today at Ray Nitschke Field, just across Oneida Street from Lambeau, 10:30 a.m.
Team USA ekes out another victory. The basketball team, that is, they beat Germany 92-88. Some of these games they're playing are a little too close.
Yeah, that's a little close.
This is an Olympic tune-up.
Was ist los mit USA?
This was their final tune-up before the Olympics, which officially start here in a couple of days.
6:48 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
The newest man in charge of the dugout.
I'm thrilled today and excited to announce Pat Murphy.
But he's no stranger to us.
Quiz me. 1973 Notre Dame football. Quiz me. Any player on the team.
Manager of our Milwaukee Brewers, Pat Murphy.
I mean, they're game to compete. They're very, very young. Doesn't always matter how much experience you have. It doesn't always matter. They can go ahead and compete with anyone.
Every Tuesday on Wisconsin's Morning News at 7:45. Sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Holiday Automotive.
Have you heard the buzz? I'm not talking about the latest tabloid gossip. I'm referring to the buzz from the wires that feed your home's electrical power. That's the most important buzz of all. But when you don't hear the buzz, you're left powerless. Talk about a buzzkill. But I have some good buzz to share. Mr. Howland's Home Services can install a brand new, whole house backup generator directly into your electrical system. So if Mother Nature goes on a rampage, or if the grid has gridlock, you could still keep the lights lit, the fridge is fridging, Wi-Fi-ing, and your busy day buzzing. All because you listen to the good buzz about Mr. Howland's whole house generators. Don't wait until the buzz dies down. Keep the lights on and give Mr. Howland's Home Services a buzz today. Call 866-992-1717 or buzz on over to MrHowlandsHomeservices.com. If you want to stay buzzed, we can help.
Hey, WTMJ's John Merck here. If you're like me, your home is your happy place, and you spend a lot of time there, and this may have renewed your focus on home projects, let me tell you the company you need to work with. It's the company I trust, CertaPro Painters. Each business is independently owned and operated right here. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They did the work in our house. Absolutely fantastic. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy, choose CertaPro Painters. Exterior painting still getting booked for the summer. Work with CertaPro Painters.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the road. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in with Debbie here at 6:51.
Northbound on 43, starting to slow down a bit from North Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Westbound's got some backups too from 20th all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Also westbound 894 going to be backed up out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to 68th Street. Otherwise, no other incidents up on the board. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Got to get through today and early tomorrow, and then we got sunshine for the rest of the week. Scattered storms likely today with a high of 82 degrees, and continuing tonight, low down to 65. Lingering into tomorrow morning with a chance of showers and a high of 77. And then the rest of the week, mostly sunny skies Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday's high 77. High of 80 on Friday and a high of 83 degrees on Saturday. Right now at 67 in Milwaukee. You still like the song this morning? By middle of next week, you'll be a little tired of the song, and then by
Never.
a week or two, I'm going to miss the song.
Never tired of it.
Two-time Sports Writer of the Year of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel and friend of the program, Lori Nickel, and someone who has covered Olympics overseas. Which Beijing Games were you?
That was 2022 with the pandemic.
Yeah. So it's sort of a different experience nonetheless. But we were just talking about, do athletes have to stay in the village, Lori, or can they stay wherever they want?
Well, they're supposed to. I know it's highly, highly recommended. I know there have been exceptions in the past, but I don't think any athlete would want to stay out of the village this year. And there's several reasons why, if you want to hear. I mean, first of all, this the Olympic Village for this time is ready to house 14,000 athletes over the 5 satellite sites that they have. Because remember, not all the games are in Paris. They're all over France. The security there will be better than anything. Even LeBron James would be more secure, I think, in the Olympic Village than elsewhere. For one thing, there's room to spread out, and the athletes like to stay there. They like to see other athletes from other countries. But also there's just the simple logistics of your anti-doping testing is right there, so you don't have to come into the village to do it. You're already there. And the other thing is transportation. If you want to get out and about, which a lot of athletes don't until after they're done competing. But if you do want to get out for an hour and just get fresh air, they have bicycles everywhere for the athletes, and they can do an easy cruise, for 20 minutes to get some food. Or, they can even have a hired car or something like that to drive them around, because I think transportation and getting around France for a lot of the athletes and media and everything is going to be absolutely crazy. So, only athletes are allowed in there, and the coaches. Like I know several athletes who are going this year. Moms, parents can't go into the village. It's just for the athletes. Security is amazing. So we may hear of a few exceptions this year, but I would be surprised. I mean, most athletes want to stay in that village.
Is it like moving into the college dorms where everyone just comes in?
What time's your check-in and people are carrying their stuff?
All this stuff. Who's your
Unloading
roommate?
the van.
Right.
My roommate's LeBron James.
Right. But it's not our college dorms. Like, have you seen college dorms now, though? Anyway, they're so much nicer. But no. Point. These are better. I heard the joke about the cardboard beds, and they're not that bad. No, it's very nice. Yes, it is efficient with housing, but I would venture that some of that is going to be better than some of the apartments or the hotel rooms that are available being rented out to fans and spectators throughout Paris. And again, it's just the convenience. The food alone is going to be worth it. So, people will bring their creature comforts, but they're going to have great Wi-Fi as opposed to what we had in China, where you had to do 14-step VPN codes just to get into, what a crazy, it's a little bit collegial, but it's a lot nicer. They're probably going to have fans and cooling devices and things like that. They're nice. I'd give anything to see it.
Lori Nickel is with us from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. She covered the Beijing Games in 2020. How do you, as a journalist then, Lori, approach that? I know, like, even just yesterday going up to EAA, there are an infinite number of stories to tell. Obviously, you as a reporter, have an eye on our Wisconsin athletes because that's your audience. Yeah. But, like, where do you even start with wrapping your mind around what should I go to? How do I get there? Who do I cover? Who do I interview?
I would have several notebooks, and I would keep notes in my phone. But when you're at the Olympics, you don't do anything else. Like, I've had people say to me, when you go to your next games, I'm going to come visit you. And I'm like, don't, because I leave at 7 a.m. No, I leave at 7 a.m. and I get home at 11:30 p.m. or midnight, and everything is a story. Everything is at least a blog note for USA Today, fan interest, anything that looks interesting. The drama that's here at the games is so encompassing and bigger than what you'll see on NBC's coverage, especially from an international standpoint. And I just worked and ate and slept. If I could stand up sleeping on the shuttle bus somewhere, I would close my eyes for 5 minutes just to rest. I mean, it really is the most intense thing I've ever covered in my life, 25 days of just go, go, go. But it's also the coolest thing. If you like the international storyline, I would follow your favorite athletes on social media or do some reading. Read LA Times, read USA Today or somebody else, because it's more than what you're going to see on the broadcast news.
Looking forward to it. Lori, thanks so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Here we go.
Shorter stint, but covering the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 45, I'm in Dallas. I had a buddy text me. He's like, hey, we're coming down. Did you bring your golf clubs? I'm like, for what? He said, yeah, well, we're playing on Saturday. You know, I'm like, they didn't send me down here for fun. Right? I'm working. It's the best kind of work, and Lori would tell you as well. It's great work, but no, I'm not playing golf. 6:58 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Mercury Marine expands its plan to idle hundreds of workers with rounds of week-long layoffs. Layoffs will occur 1 week at a time from now through the end of the year and impact about 1,700 hourly employees working for the marine engine manufacturer. The Harley-Davidson Homecoming Festival brings thousands of motorcycle riders to town from July 25th through 28th. The event will feature music from the likes of Red Hot Chili Peppers and Jelly Roll. The National Raising Cane's chicken finger chain opens a new location in Greendale on July 30th as the company continues to expand across Wisconsin. The new Greendale location will be open from 10 a.m. to midnight Sunday through Thursday and from 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
We all love Saturdays, but are they really all that rewarding? I mean, do you really feel rewarded after mowing the lawn or doing all your I gotta do this because today's the weekend, whatevers? Well, Potawatomi wants your Saturdays to be the most rewarding ever with a share of $400,000 in cash and prizes. Just play this July for prize drawing entries. Win on Saturdays. Plus, each Potawatomi rewards level gets their own drawing. Rewarding Saturdays at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. For more details, visit paysbig.com/rewarding. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Guthrie and Fry protects the water in my house. Guthrie and Fry has provided expert advice, quality service, and reliable water since 1974. Owners Sue and Rob are well known and very generous in the local community for supporting great causes that change lives. We've got their water softener. We've got their reverse osmosis system. Our water is crisp, clean, and clear. GFwater.com. It's Guthrie and Fry.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Old rivals face off one more time to settle the score.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Trevor McGill gets tough.
The Brewers are in Chicago to take on the Cubs. Our coverage starts tonight at 6 with Brewers warm-up on your home for the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7:01, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, July 23rd, our top story, kicking off the campaign in Milwaukee.
I'm Erik. Bilstad. Tragedy at the EAA.
I'm Debbie Lazica. Northbound 43 backing up now from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way to Keefe. Westbound 94 heavy from just before 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. And then, of course, we've got our delays on 894 westbound coming out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to Forest Home almost. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Scattered storms likely today. A couple of waves late morning and then once again late afternoon with a high of 82 degrees. Scattered storms tonight, low down to 65. Right now, Milwaukee at 68 degrees. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, decision Wisconsin Vice President Kamala Harris due to make a visit to Wisconsin today.
This will be Vice President Harris's first appearance in Wisconsin since she became the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party following President Joe Biden's decision to drop out of the race over the weekend. The White House says Harris will land at Milwaukee Mitchell International around 11:30 this morning before heading to a political event to deliver remarks. A location for the event has not yet been made public. The visit comes as Wisconsin Democratic Party Chair Ben Wickler says more than 90% of the state's delegates are supporting Harris. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Now, Democrats moving swiftly as the baton has been passed from President Biden to his VP following his announcement not to run for re-election on Sunday. Now, as the party's presumptive nominee, now Harris needs to build her ticket. ABC's Mary Bruce.
We are starting to see some seeming to actually begin to audition here. We are watching closely several governors, including Governor Beshear of Kentucky, Governor Shapiro of Pennsylvania, also some senators like Mark Kelly of Arizona. They don't have a lot of time here, so this process is going to have to move quickly.
Again, we expect Harris to be in southeast Wisconsin, in Milwaukee County, in the midday, so you can expect some closures through the lunch hour.
Tough questions on Capitol Hill for Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle over the assassination attempt on former President Trump. She faces calls to resign, lawmakers on both sides of the aisle demanding such. CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killian at the hearing.
For hours, Cheadle was pressed repeatedly over how 20-year-old gunman Thomas Crooks made it to a rooftop only 500 feet away from the former president.
You have acknowledged that this was a major security failure. Is that right?
Yes.
And why Trump was still allowed to take the stage despite agents being told 2 to 5 times that a suspicious person had been spotted.
Cheadle remained defiant during the hearing, saying that she believes she remains the right person to lead the agency at this time. She will, quote, move heaven and earth to get to the bottom of what went wrong.
Investigators looking into what caused the deadly plane crash on Monday near the EAA AirVenture in Oshkosh. It was the first day of AirVenture, the crash killing 2 people on board. It happened near Old Knapp Road in the town of Nikimi. Steve Zulitz tells TMJ4 News he saw it happen.
We looked down to the south and saw the smoke coming up over the trees. It was a small plume at first, and then it rapidly intensified to a larger plume.
The NTSB is investigating the cause of the crash.
Neighbors finding bullet holes in their homes near Deneen Park after a shooting left 1 person dead, 9 others injured. TMJ4's Jenna Ray spoke with folks who live nearby.
Growing up, it was a place for kids.
For Valerie Sauvé, Deneen Park is home.
I most recently have lived here 32 years, but actually lived here most of my life. Our family moved in here in 1963.
An emotional start to her week after learning 1 teenager was killed and several more were injured from a shooting just across from her house.
It's usually people from outside the neighborhood which are causing problems. And to have something like this happen is devastating.
It's apparently a party fueled by social media. A 17-year-old girl was killed in the gunfire. Police have not announced any arrests.
Coming up, a whale of an arrest off the coast of Greenland.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Does your home need a new defensive coach? Have wind, cold, or water breached? I recommend Siding Unlimited. Wind and cold get through your windows? Siding Unlimited fixes that. Water challenging your roof? Siding Unlimited fixes that too. Is the siding letting the elements through or just looking offensive? Fixing that is Siding Unlimited's first and continuing specialty. When weather's offense beats your home's defense, contact Siding Unlimited. Their name says siding, but they are so much more. Whatever the breach, put Siding Unlimited in. Their good work is on display at their unique outside-in showroom. They're waiting for you. What are you waiting for? SidingUnlimited.com.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday. Get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
Big savings are here, thanks to Senator Dan Fine. He helped cut property taxes by $11 billion, making home ownership more affordable. That's not all. His efforts slashed income and franchise taxes by nearly $17 billion. Call 608-266-5300 and thank Senator Fine for keeping your money where it belongs, in your wallet. Remember, when your money's on the line, you can count on Senator Dan Fine. Paid for by the Wisconsin Realtors Advocacy Fund.
Breathing triangle problems negatively affect your sleep, making it hard to be at your best. Balloon sinuplasty can help solve these problems so you can breathe well, sleep well, and live better.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:08.
Jordan Love not on the practice field as the Packers open training camp. We'll get to the bottom of that at 7:15 in sports.
As Milwaukee Public Schools continues its search for a long-term leader, Mayor Cavalier Johnson says he's eager to work with the district.
I have said that I want to be a part of that process when we whittle down the field to the final, 4 or so, or whatever that looks like, to be a part of those conversations.
Mayor Johnson tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News he hopes the permanent superintendent will continue to work with local businesses to help show MPS students opportunities in the trades.
Every single kid needs to support themselves, support their family, have a roof over their head. And so we got to make sure that every single opportunity that's available to our kids is known to them.
The mayor saying he wants the next superintendent to be community-driven and able to make hard choices. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Eduardo Galvan's been named the interim superintendent. This while MPS works on a national search for a permanent leader.
A veteran environmental activist facing extradition to Japan.
73-year-old anti-whaling activist Paul Watson, famous for the TV show Whale Wars, has been arrested in Greenland. He was caught while refueling his ship, reportedly en route to further disrupt whaling operations. Watson, a fierce eco-activist and former Sea Shepherd member, is charged with bashing Japanese whalers in Antarctic waters in 2010. Whether the dual U.S.-Canadian citizen will be extradited to Japan remains to be seen. Anthony Trotter, ABC News, Tokyo.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:09.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. Now that we're into the festival season, the festivals at BBC Lighting are bigger than ever. Our huge showroom is filled with all the latest lights and ceiling fans, including the newest LED styles, crystal chandeliers, table and floor lamps, mirrors, and outdoor lights. And don't forget about our lampshade and repair departments. BBC is a festival of lighting, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We're located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Traffic is sponsored by 2 Men in a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. Debbie.
All right, northbound 43 still heavy right around the North Avenue curve all the way up to Keefe. Westbound 94 slowing from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, and westbound 894 a bit heavy from about 27th to about 68th through that construction zone. Rest of the system seems to be rolling along just fine. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. We have a cold front heading our way today. That's going to bring the chance for some scattered showers and storms out ahead of it. You'll also notice lots of humidity today with high temperatures in the lower 80s. Tonight, the chance for scattered showers and storms continues. Low temperatures in the mid-60s. Wednesday morning, the cold front finally sweeps through. Still the chance for a rain shower or two during the morning hours, but drying things out by Wednesday afternoon. Behind the front, though, a beautiful stretch of weather. Highs in the upper 70s for Wednesday into Thursday. Plenty of sunshine Thursday, Friday, and Saturday as high temperatures start to build back towards 80 on Friday, lower 80s on Saturday. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 69 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
At 7:12 on this Tuesday morning, details of her visit still being kept rather close to the vest for the campaign. We do know, now being called the presumptive Democrat nominee for president, Vice President Kamala Harris due in Wisconsin for her first official campaign event carrying that title for security purposes, and this is not out of character for the campaign. Few details being shared with us about the visit and fewer that are for public consumption ahead of it. I can report the VP is scheduled to fly into Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport late morning, so expect motorcade traffic around the noon hour. She's expected to be here only for a few hours with only one official scheduled stop listed, a local school early this afternoon in the Milwaukee area. She is supposed to be wheels up back to Washington before 3 o'clock, so this should not affect the afternoon rush today.
And you can call Harris the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee. She has enough delegates now that have been declared to be going toward her, like Democratic Party Chair Ben Wickler says here in Wisconsin.
More than 90% of Wisconsin's 95 delegates have already pledged their support for Vice President Harris at the convention.
Wickler also says he doesn't know any delegates from Wisconsin who are not going to pledge their support. Meanwhile, in Delaware, Harris making an appearance and a speech to staffers at the campaign headquarters in Wilmington.
Over the next 106 days, we are going to take our case to the American people, and we are going to win.
And we did hear from President Biden. He was on the phone during her conversation with those staffers.
The name has changed at the top of the ticket, but the mission hasn't changed at all. And by the way, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be out there in the campaign with her, with Kamala. I'm going to be working like hell.
You surprised to hear that? That he said that he'd be out there campaigning with her?
I am unsure as to whether or not her camp thinks that's wise. Like he still has the power of the presidency and can go and, I suppose, rally supporters, but whether or not she wants to be seen that publicly with him, as you know, the Republicans are going to try to tie her to his policies, which were, at least in their eyes, largely unpopular. So they think they had an inroad there. I don't know how those two factions now work together. Are they one and the same, or does she have her own people that are going to try to shield her to some degree from the sitting president?
The president is expected to address the nation at some point later this week. A date has yet to be announced.
It is 7:14. Sports coming up next. Sponsored by Holiday Automotive at Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Hey, Wisconsin, Greg Matzik here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, where the summer road trip sale continues. It's where to gear up, get more for your trade, and be ready for the journeys ahead in a new Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, or a GM-certified pre-owned model. Connect with Holiday for an impressive selection while you get in on the season's best offers. Whether it's low interest rate financing, generous cash back, or a comfortably low lease payment, now is a great time to explore all that's new, treat yourself to a test drive, and enjoy Holiday's genuine guest care and transparent, simplified buying approach. It is the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over, and I'm one of them. You'll be in great hands with Team Holiday on your side. Proud and grateful to be Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer. Accolades are per 2023 Buick and GMC Zone Sales Records. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
It's proof that you can't win every game. A little sloppy. Not the best as the Brewers fall to the Cubs 3-1 at Wrigley Field. Rookie pitcher Tobias Myers was good. 5 1/3, 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. But a balk a throwing error and a wild pitch basically did him in.
The right-hander deals, and he bounced it in the dirt. It gets away from Contreras. Runner breaks for the plate. Throw home. Myers tag. Late. Scoring is Tauchman. He just beat the tag of the pitcher. And on a wild pitch, the Cubs doubled the lead.
Skipper Pat Murphy.
I think our youth showed tonight. Tobias was fabulous. He threw the ball great, but the balk, obviously the wild pitch with an 0-2 pitch, with bases loaded. And obviously throwing the ball away at second, that accounted for 2 of the 3 runs.
We should also point out it doesn't help when you leave the bases loaded twice early on in the game. The Brewers walked 6 times in less than 4 innings, and they didn't score. 6 times.
I was listening at that point. We're driving back from EAA. I'm like, come on now. Yeah. Happened in the 1 inning, then the next inning, same thing. I'm like, this has to be.
It's like hard to do.
Yes.
Right? You almost are forced to score a run. Adames solo shot in the 8th. That was the only scoring for the Crew. Just got to flush it to move on. Same teams tonight right here on WTMJ Radio. And the skipper joins us for Brewers 360 at 7:45.
Packers continue training camp today. Open to the fans. Practice at Ray Nitschke Field just across from Lambeau at 10:30 a.m. Unless there is some big announcement this morning. Quarterback Jordan Love will not be participating in practice.
I'm optimistic. These are big deals. It takes time. They're not as easy as some people may think.
Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst saying they are close to a long-term deal with Love, who does have 1 year remaining on the extension that he signed last season. But Love, who's reported to camp, and Goody's saying he's doing everything else. He's there. So I don't know if you can call it a holdout. It's not really a holdout. He's there. He's holding himself out of practice.
It's a little bit of leverage,
right.
Yeah.
Won't be doing that until the deal is done.
We're talking about practice.
Wide receiver Jaden Reed, meanwhile, coming into camp with an injury. It's keeping him out. He apparently suffered said injury at his youth football camp recently. Gutekunst on that.
Yeah, I think he just tweaked something in his camp. I don't know if an 8-year-old beat him on a route or something, but we don't. It's nothing that we expect to be too long.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Got burnt by an 8-year-old. Right? Here's how you do it, kids.
Ankle. Oh, hold on.
Right, hold on. I'm good. Now I'll watch from here. Packers don't seem terribly worried about it. Reed apparently said in some locker room comments that it's nothing to worry about, so hopefully that deal with Love gets done sooner rather than later.
USA men's basketball team wins 92-88 over Germany. Another close one is their final tune-up before the Olympics begin.
7:18 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
The Upswing with Jeff Sherman.
Let's talk a couple minutes about your grilling methods.
Get to know what's going on in the community and businesses throughout Milwaukee and Wisconsin.
Okay, so you have to understand, preface this, that I'm really a sausage snob.
Okay, well, you should be. Well, you've earned that right.
Right, so I don't want to offend anybody.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. You've heard me say it before. There is nothing better than summers in Wisconsin. Late July, August in Wisconsin is just heaven for me. And there's nothing worse than having arthritic joint pain or an achy shoulder or a knee that is just barking at you all the time. Well, there is a way to get outside and enjoy the beautiful weather and not feel awful all the time. QC Kinetics. It's the nation's leader in advanced regenerative medicine. That means you can get the work done and you don't have to worry about surgery, you don't have to worry about a bunch of drugs, and you don't have to worry about downtime. QC Kinetics. They've helped so many people before. Now they can help you. Here's what you do. Call QC Kinetics today for a free consultation. Learn a little bit more about what they do. They have a place in Mequon you can stop in and look at. Also in Greenfield. 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics now. The future of medicine is here. 414-285-3474.
When you need to sell quickly, choose Grandview to buy your home, even if it's less than perfect. Don't waste time and money on finding a real estate agent and dealing with showings. We'll buy your home completely as is. No repairs, not even a clean out. Grandview Homes gives you an offer in hours, and we close on the day you choose in as little as 10 days with no closing costs. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today. Grandview Homes, the fastest and easiest way to sell your home.
Let's get an update on your morning drive. Hey, Debbie.
Hey there. Northbound 43 continues kind of heavy from North Avenue up towards Keefe. Westbound 94 backing up from about 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Westbound 894 going to be a slow one from 27th Street all the way to about Forest Home. Rest of the system, even looking into Waukesha County, we are looking pretty good so far. Hey, by the way, be our eyes on the roads. Report incidents to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Coming up on 722 this Tuesday morning, some scattered storms likely today with a high of 82 degrees. Got to get through today and early tomorrow, and then we hit a fantastic stretch as we bring in Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky. Well,
what's going on, guys?
We got some really nice days ahead. Get to that in a second. But what do you see today, Niz, in terms of timing for when we could get wet?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty scattered even when it does arrive. So it's definitely not a slam dunk, but it is our best chance for rain that we have this week. I would say in general, we're going to see these scattered storms start to increase in coverage late morning, 10, 11 o'clock, and into the afternoon, probably starting with our northern spots and then eventually everybody by the afternoon. And then we could see a couple more scattered storms tonight and even again tomorrow. So we get through this 24-hour or so period, and then it's smooth sailing the rest of the week.
I hate the scattered storms because you can't plan anything, right? I mean, like, I'm supposed to play pickleball tonight just after 6 o'clock. I don't know what to do. Should I... you don't want to call it off at 7 a.m. being like, I don't know, it could be rain. And then, you look out your door and it's beautiful.
I would say, if you do have outdoor plans, I wouldn't cancel them or think about, but just know that there's the chance. But I agree with you. In fact, I have another time we'll have to play it. I had an angry caller a couple weeks ago.
No, I don't believe that. Who would be angry with you?
It was one of those things where, It was during that stretch where it was like literally every day, 90% of us were going to stay dry, but then 10% of us were going to get this little pop-up storm. Now, today is definitely more coverage than that, but this was the scenario that we had that day, and he happened to be the 10%, and he got a pretty good downpour in a shower, and he was a farmer, and he just cut hay, and it's just like. And I understood why he was upset, but I'm like, hey, this is exactly what was forecasted. 99% of the area didn't get a drop today. You ended up being that one, that 10%, that got it. So he was not very happy. But today I would say, here's classic weatherman day. 50-50 chance, City.
Okay, good.
You're going to be good.
We'll flip a coin at 5 o'clock.
Hey, Niz, what's your take on Twisters? Is that a movie that you need to go see?
Yeah, I saw it yesterday with my oldest.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, so I loved it. I thought it was great. I mean, it's not going to be an Oscar winning movie, but it's what you would expect it to be. And I think the consensus with the meteorologist is there is at the very least, a very big effort to have the actors and the scripts be very much accurate as far as terminology. And I would say compared to many other weather movies that are out there some are just so crazy, far-fetched, like crazy stuff. This one has a very big effort to actually be, obviously the whole Hollywood aspect of it, of somehow these chasers intercept 15 tornadoes in a 24-hour period. It's a little crazy.
Right. You could be down there a week and not see one, right, dude?
Exactly. Totally. So there's obviously that. But as far as what they're saying and what they're doing has some scientific chops to it. There were only a couple times where someone said something that was just like, yeah, that's not right. But
now, are you that guy in the theater sitting there with your kids going, blah, blah. That would never happen, actually. The vortices would never.
No, I'm not. And unfortunately, there are some meteorologists who are like that. Me, I just, just make a little mental note and move on and actually just appreciate that, they did a really, really good job. They incorporated actually the National Weather Service is part of it. They've incorporated some TV meteorologists down in Oklahoma, and they they did a very good job of balancing Hollywood and what really goes on.
I just remember in the original, the tornadoes were like growling.
Yeah, that's true. There still is some very, very, far-fetched, visual things that are going on. But there is, and then there's also some play on like some real life events. Like, I don't want to ruin it or anything, but the big tornado at the end is in El Reno, Oklahoma, which El Reno, Oklahoma has one of the strongest tornadoes on record in recent memory. It was the EF5, I believe, was like 5-6 years ago. So, like, there is loose ties to reality too with it. That was historical reality, which I thought was cool.
Was there a touching love story? Was it the wife or the ex-wife who just he's married to storm chasing, not to me, and I can't do it anymore.
There is, but it's not that sappy and soapy. I don't want to get too much into it because then I would give it away. But yes, the main character, the heartthrob Glenn Powell, that the main dude actor that all the ladies are swooning over. I actually liked him. He was funny.
Awesome. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky.
And all storm chasers are that gorgeous, too.
Absolutely.
Every
There's one right there, folks. Thanks, Niz.
See you guys.
News about your money this morning. Boy, they would only listen to me. They need me to chase these storms. And I'm sorry.
I'm the only one that can stop it.
I'm the only one that can stop it. And sometimes you have to make sacrifices. And if you can't understand that and believe in me, it'd be nice if someone believed in me. Go see it anyway.
And the Oscar goes to...
News about your money this morning. Thank you, Deb. In the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update, Dow Jones Industrial Average was up about 128 points to 40,415. NASDAQ closed at 18,008. That was up about 281 points. And the S&P 500 up 60 to 5564. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market and how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Back with us again today, Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, we've talked about cybercrime before. In fact, you were the first person I thought of when we learned of this major healthcare system with many of our own doctors, clinics, and hospitals attacked.
Thank you, Vince. It's great to be here again. Yes, that massive attack is wreaking havoc both on the employees and the patients. Their systems have been down for several weeks. It sounds like chaos. The FBI director has called cybercrime and cyber attacks the defining threat of our generation. Data breach, ransomware, network vulnerabilities, funds transfer fraud, everything and anything that's connected is a target. It boils down to working with an experienced cybercrime specialist. Protect yourself or your business. If your agent doesn't understand the tactics of a cyber threat actor, he or she is going to be of little value after an event.
So let's get into it a little bit. What are some of the expenses that would be covered by a typical cyber insurance policy?
Cyber insurance policies, Vince, vary greatly policy to policy. It's essential you choose coverage that aligns with your business's specific need and risk profile. But here's just a few examples. It can provide financial protection to help restore systems, recover lost data, even hardware replacement.
And why should a business then work with R&R Insurance?
Vince, at R&R Insurance, our dedicated cybercrime insurance team has been in place for almost 10 years. We have some of the best cybercrime experts in the marketplace. We understand the risks and can custom design a cybercrime program that will protect you and your business. And in the event a loss does occur, we'll be there to support you every step along the way.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Traffic is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialists. Retire well with Kowal.
Our team of fiduciary advisors are here to help you retire well with our streamlined retirement process. Give us a call today at 262-522-4040 or visit us at thekowalway.com.
Preston, Vice President Kamala Harris's political campaign has raised $100 million in just over a day since she announced she was in the race for the White House. The money coming in as she hits the campaign trail for the first time since Joe Biden's historic decision to step aside.
Biden still has 6 months left of his presidency, and he says he's determined to do everything he
he can, both at home and abroad. That includes trying to end this war in Gaza and bring the hostages back home, both of which the president says he is on the verge of accomplishing.
That's ABC's Selena Wang. Continued calls for Secret Service head Kim Cheadle to resign following her congressional testimony about Donald Trump's near assassination. A Springfield, Illinois area police officer has been charged with first-degree murder and fired, accused of shooting a black woman 3 times, killing her in her own home. Sonia Massey had called about an intruder. Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson says she was threatening him with a pot of boiling water. This is ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:31.
And westbound 894, looks like we got a broken down vehicle blocking the left lane right at 60th Street. So that's just going to complicate matters even more than they already are with the construction zone. Westbound 94, slow out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's got a couple pockets of heavy traffic from just before 84th Street to about 68th, and then back on the brakes right through the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Scattered storms likely through the day, humid and a high of 82 degrees. Scattered storms a possibility once again tonight, low down to 65. Right now, Milwaukee temp at 69. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Vice President Kamala Harris due to visit Wisconsin today. White House says she's due to land at Milwaukee Mitchell International late morning before heading to a political event to deliver remarks. Location of the event has not been publicly released. It's the Vice President's first appearance, though, in the Badger State, or really on the campaign trail, since she has become the presumptive nominee for the Democrats following President Biden's decision to drop out of the race.
Milwaukee State Senator Chris Larson tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News he believes the party is better off in this election with Harris at the head of the ticket.
And that, look, in 2020, he ran as the only person that could beat Donald Trump. And it turned out in 2024, he was the only candidate that could lose to Donald Trump. And I think he did not want to go out on that note.
Larson referring to President Biden there. He says he sees a resurgence of excitement now in the race.
Milwaukee police have not announced any arrests at this point. There was a mass shooting left a teenage girl dead, 9 others injured at Deneen Park. Neighbors telling TMJ4 News they found bullet holes in their homes near the scene, which they believe was caused by people not from the neighborhood.
I heard the gunshots, and I heard something in the living room fall. And then when I came out, it was through the window, 2 over here and 1 through the sunroom.
Authorities report dozens of teens were holding a car party fueled by social media late Sunday night when that fight escalated into a shooting.
Relatives speaking about the death of 6-year-old Zane McCuddy Adams. Milwaukee police investigating the child's death as child abuse. They have a woman in custody. Zane's grandmother, Yvette Adams, tells TMZ4 News.
I just been crying. I can't stop. It just hurt me. This just hurt my soul. I love him, and I know he's in heaven, and I'm going to see my baby again.
The family says that the woman arrested is not Zane's mother. His dad is currently incarcerated.
Southeast Wisconsin, due to see some scattered showers and storms at different times today. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky on Wisconsin's Morning News telling us the rain will come in waves, but won't be an all-day washout, and some may get nothing.
Some of these could have some really heavy downpours. They're going to be slow movers. They're not very fast because this cold front is moving very slow. So they're going to hang around a little bit through this evening. There could be some heavy rain, some small hail, gusty winds, but the severe weather threat looks very, very low for today.
That's actually meteorologist Tyler Moore. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up at 7:40.
Stretching out that value meal. That story coming up.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time 7:35. This report brought to you by Steinhoffels. Visit them at steinhoffels.com.
The Steinhoffels Buy More, Save More sale is back. The best time to refresh your whole house because the more you buy, the more you save. You can take up to $300 off of your purchase of bedroom, dining, sofas, home office, and so much more. Use Steinhoffel's 60-month financing to make your dream room even more affordable. The Buy More, Save More sale only at Steinhoffels. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Tri-County Contracting. Is it time to replace the siding at your house? First off, you got to go to Tri-County Contracting. You can hit up their showroom in New Berlin to check out the vinyl siding and the LP Smart Side they have on display. They'll help you find that siding and the color that you will love. And if you're worried about price, don't forget about the 30-year no-faded paint warranty. Transform your house and increase the value. Worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Buying a home should be a joy, but could you imagine doing this without a realtor? Paperwork, inspections, appraisals, deadlines, showings, market research? Or you could relax. or understanding legal documents, negotiating offers, coordinating inspections, securing finance. Oh, sorry. A realtor can take the stress out of the home buying process. See how at wra.org/a-realtor-can. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Realtors Association.
Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
It's Heiser's Red, White, and Blue event. Service or upgrade your ride today with star-spangled discounts you deserve. Let our certified technicians get your current ride road trip ready for July festivities. Or work with our sales consultants to find the perfect new vehicle for all your summer destinations. Plus, enjoy our exclusive Safe and Sound program with every vehicle sale. See details and offers at Heiser.com and celebrate your independence today. At Heiser, today's your day.
See dealer for complete details.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy, our guest on Brewers 360 at 7:45.
Many McDonald's locations are going to be extending a meal deal offer that was controversial among franchises when it was first launched.
McDonald's was one of the last to come around with a $5 meal deal after outrage spread on social media about fast food prices and inflation. It took a while for McDonald's to get franchisees on board with a $5 meal deal, but it's worked out so well in boosting traffic that McDonald's says it will be extended at most of its restaurants. 93% of McDonald's restaurants have voted to extend it, some through August. The company saying the meal deal has worked in driving back customers. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Well, that's interesting how that works, right?
So if you provide a sale, you might bring in more customers, thus making more money and getting more traffic.
Right. So, I mean, it depends on how you want to make your money, right? It's just, do you have a premium product that costs more that fewer people buy, or do you drive on volume? And clearly, look, McDonald's, has it ever been not volume? Right? That was the driver?
That's a good question. Yeah, right. No, it always has been, right?
Yes. News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10, right here on WTMJ.
Market volatility, global issues. We hear about inflation easing, but it's still a real issue. More than a few headwinds this year. That's probably why Americans like you feel uncertain about their financial future. Just 59% of affluent Americans felt secure last year, and that's down from the year before. Boomers, not much room for error. Gen X might need more than a 401k. And for millennial families with big dreams, it's time to get real about saving and investing. Talk to Annex Wealth Management. Build security with a partner on your side for unbiased advice. Our goal is a plan that prepares you to maintain your desired lifestyle throughout retirement. Investments are a start, but you may need more. That's why Annex delivers tax and estate planning. There's an Annex plan personalized for you. Annex Comprehensive Wealth fits most individuals and families, but if you've got high net worth with complex needs, Annex Private Client is your solution. Just starting out? Annex Ignite is a great choice. Know the difference with Annex Wealth Management. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
What will medicine look like 10 years from now, 20 years from now? And who is going to lead us there? I'm Dr. Amir Ghaffari, Professor of Surgery and President and CEO of the Physician Enterprise at the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. New knowledge, never settling. That's what will get us there. Because as one of the few academic health systems in the nation, we push further and train the next generation of experts. Beyond our acclaimed medical care, our research keeps advancing the field, leading to breakthrough treatments and providing the foundation for the innovations of tomorrow. You have access to all of that right here. If you have heart disease, if you have a loved one dealing with cancer, if you're just trying to keep your family healthy, this level of care is invaluable. Through the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we are pushing ahead, giving our patients and our community the best of what academic medicine can offer, today and tomorrow.
Checking in with Debbie here at 7:40.
All right, westbound on 94, slowing down out of the Marquette all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's got some backups out of the Zoo interchange all the way to about 35th. On westbound 894, we do have a broken down vehicle that is blocking the left lane. Squad is with it, so just keep your eyes open for that and try and give them a wide berth, but it is going to be really slow all the way back into the Mitchell interchange. Northbound on 43, slowing from about Kilbourne up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. We have showers and storms in the forecast today, starting later this morning into this afternoon. High temperatures in the lower 80s, and you'll notice more humidity across the area. Tonight, the chance for scattered showers and storms continues. Low temperatures in the 60s. We could see an isolated rain shower or thunderstorm linger into Wednesday morning as the cold front sweeps through. By Wednesday afternoon, we'll dry out with high temperatures in the upper 70s. Then listen to this stretch of weather. Thursday, upper 70s, plenty of sunshine. Friday, near 80, mostly sunny skies. And Saturday, lower 80s with mostly sunny skies. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore. The Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
69 in Milwaukee. Telling Eric had a moment yesterday. Got home late from EAA, needed to water the garden, hoping to get in on some of this rain today. It's been a little bit dry. All the rain that we've had this summer, right?
Crispy, you're right.
So I'm like, all right, I'll throw the sprinkler on, real quick here, right before I go to bed. Sitting there just starting to drift off. Oh, the sprinkler's still on.
That's the worst feeling, isn't it?
The worst. So we do have, as you heard Tyler Morris say, a couple of chances for some scattered storms. Not everybody is going to get wet today, but it's going to be hanging around through the day. Hey, coming up just after 8 o'clock, we'll get into a little bit of the testimony from the director of the U.S. Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle. We were talking before, a lot of folks weighing in saying it wasn't a great performance in her testimony before Capitol Hill. Okay, but what hand did you have? There's no question you had an epic failure. Like, how are you going to make that sound good?
Well, right, but how are you staying in that position? Right. That's one of the questions. But also at the same time, I'm not going to defend anything she said or didn't say on Monday, but it's early. Like, they are a week into this investigation, a week plus a couple of days. I was surprised she was speaking on Monday because you wouldn't expect her to have much to be able to provide this early in the investigation.
On top of that, fairly busy week the week prior.
Right.
She was among those here in the huge security detail here in Milwaukee to put on that convention as well.
That said, she did not do herself any favors on Monday.
So we'll get into some of that just after the 8 o'clock news this morning. Brewers manager Pat Murphy next.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
Packers hit the practice field again, day 2 of the 2024 training camp. Jordan Love not expected to practice as long as he is still working on a deal, long-term extension with the Green Bay Packers. General Manager Brian Gutekunst saying they're close, but that Love has informed them he's not going to practice. He has reported to camp. He's there. He's doing other things. Not going to practice until that deal is done.
Brewers fall to the Cubs 3-1 at Wrigley Field. Same teams tonight right here on WTMJ Radio.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited. And on Tuesdays, we talk to the manager. Brewers manager Pat Murphy with us this morning. Hi, Pat.
How you doing?
Hey, Murph, wanted to ask you about, obviously you had the Cubs starter was struggling a bit yesterday, walked 6 guys, I think, in just those 2 innings, right? And we ended up having the bases loaded twice. Outside of, I want to get to, not being able to get a run across in that situation. He's on the other team, so I wasn't sad about it, but you almost feel for a guy who can't find the strike zone. What happens to a pitcher when they just lose command?
Well, it was a matter of he's coming off an injury. He's been very successful. His ERA is under 3, I believe. And he's coming off an injury, and sometimes when you get exhausted, and I think he had pitched 2 1/3 inning in his first start. They weren't planning on him going very far. Now, be it as it may, we had bases loaded with 2 outs, but it was 2 outs, nobody on, and then he walked 3 guys. So that was a sign of fatigue, and they got him out of there pretty quick. But, yeah, it's tough. We didn't get timely hitting, but when you load the bases with no outs, that's a little different. But we did a great job of loading the bases, but unfortunately there was already 2 outs in the inning. But the kid was getting tired. And when you lose command like that, you got to get somebody ready, and it alters your plan a little bit.
Skip, you said after the game that you guys are a young team and you could chalk up this loss maybe because of the youth on your team and that some of your at-bats could have been better. Could you define that? What makes a good at-bat? Like, how does a professional hitter need to go up there in order to create what is considered a good at-bat?
Well, I mean, obviously it starts with balls and strikes. You swing at strikes and take balls. It sounds easy, but it's really not. It's one of the most difficult things to do in sport. And then, it's one of those deals where you then you put your ace swing or your best swing on a strike and put it in play the right way with true flight. True flight meaning straight as it can be, as hard as it can be. But if the game deals you, a pitch that's 4 inches or 5 inches outside, you don't hit it. If the umpire takes that away, then there's nothing you can do. Just respond to the next pitch. But good at-bats are built over time. It can be one pitch. It can be 10 pitches. But the way the game's played, my comments about the youth, that's what we are. We're a very, very young team, as young as any team with players on the field in baseball. But it's like you go through that where we made a few mistakes. The kid pitched magnificently for us. He pitched really well, but he balked. He threw a ball away at second base. Those are things that he made a wild pitch with the bases loaded with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Those are just unfortunate, but that's sometimes what young people that get hyped up do. Don't make an easy throw to second base on a ground ball, throw a ball in the dirt with 2 strikes, and those are things that you don't excuse, but you're not totally surprised when a rookie does that.
How often, it's a random question, but how often does a batter foul one off intentionally? Like they know they can spoil this pitch because it's not one that they're going to be able to drive, so they just put a swing on it just to get another at-bat or get another pitch?
There's a real art to that. It's not so easy to do. People talk about it, but it's mostly letting the ball travel and get deep, and you approach it in such a way where your hands are first and your barrel's dragging a little bit, and you take a good swing at it, but understanding that if I hit it, I'll hit it right down the opposite field line, or I'll foul it off.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy with us on Brewers 360 this morning. Oh, go ahead.
Not as easy as it looks, believe me.
You used the word, I think, over the weekend, relentless. And I kept having that thought of, we left the bases loaded twice and we didn't get a run across. But I honestly fully expected what I've seen from this team. I'm like, that's fine. We'll be back in another inning. And it doesn't always work out that way. But you have built a team, Pat, that just never gives up.
I'm proud of the guys. Nobody expected anything out of this team, and we've all said that over and over. But it's amazing how they show up to play every day. It's very few games that we're out of at all. I mean, out of our 100 games, I think we're talking about 96 games that we've had either the winning run on or the tying run at the plate or something of that nature, and that's amazing for a young team that's relatively unknowns, most of them, and to just competing this way every single night in all different environments. There was a great environment there last night. It's great to see, and it makes you feel great that you're representing a bunch of guys like that.
Brewers manager Pat Murphy with us this morning. Go get him tonight, Skip.
Thanks, man.
Brewers and Cubs tonight, 7:05, first pitch from the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. 7:49, and no Tausch today. A special treat. Not that it's a treat to not have Tausch.
That's what it sounded like you said.
Speaking not of the absence of Tausch, but the presence of our guest this morning. Should I tell him, or should we just leave it up?
And there's big news we're following closely in Green Bay that we want to dissect.
Why don't you just tell me who it is?
No, we'll have to find out.
7:49 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tosher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family-owned business for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off and 0% interest for 12 months on your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
You're never going to believe it.
Why would I not believe it?
John Hoyman has a big idea. Big.
John, our Chief Financial Officer?
Hi, Rick. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Monica.
Hi, John.
Hey, John.
Are we in trouble?
No. Everything is great.
Tell them your idea.
18-month special financing for all purchases made in July.
Subject to approved credit, right?
Of course, just ask an associate for details.
That's a year and a half to pay. Can we do that?
We're an employee-owned company. We can do anything we want.
Sarah, are you nervous we can't afford it?
Sarah, this is John, our CFO. If John says we can afford it, we can afford it.
Do you like the idea of 18-month special financing?
I like it.
I like it.
But only for purchases made in July, right?
Right.
I like it.
18-month special financing for all purchases made in July. Only at Kessler's. For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Sendik's limited time hatch pepper event is back. Order your fresh or roasted hatch peppers now at sendix.com/hatch.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. And Debbie.
Yes.
It's Wildy.
Oh, okay.
He's our special guest today. Jason Wildy of ESPN Wisconsin is coming up next.
Very cool. All right, westbound on 94, slowing down from 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. We got eastbound with a couple pockets of heavy traffic. First one in Waukesha County, stretching from about Brookfield Road all the way to about Moreland. And then you're back on the brakes out of the zoo interchange to about 68th and back again on the brakes through the stadium interchange. Westbound 894, going to be a heavy one out of the Mitchell all the way to about 58th Street. We've also got northbound 4394 slowing down out of the Mitchell around the Plainfield curve up past Oklahoma Avenue. I'm Debbie Lodgo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The forecast, sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Scattered storms likely today, humid, a high of 82. Tonight, still some storms in the forecast, a low of 65. Wednesday, so a chance for showers in the morning, otherwise partly cloudy, a high of 77. Thursday, sunny, 77. Friday, sunny, a high of 80. Right now, 69 at 7:52.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News is sponsored by Kohler Services. I guess you'll get the check from him then, Wildy.
Well,
you have to draw directly from Tausch for that, though. I'm outside that. I'm not laundering that.
It's like trying to get money from Favre. So, a couple things. One, great to hear Debbie Loziga doing the traffic when I'm not driving to the Milwaukee Ballet, so it doesn't impact me at all. I don't know how the 172 bridge traffic is this morning in Green Bay, but she does such a great job. Secondly, now I know what it's like to be Brian Bulaga, who in 2010 stepped into the starting lineup for an old, broken down, washed up right tackle and helped the Packers to a Super Bowl title. And I just, Tausch loves to bring up Lou Gehrig and Wally Pipp. I hope he's nervous this morning because not only am I filling in for him today, but I believe Pancake can correct me, but I've got a couple of other stints on this program.
That's right.
I'm not sure he's ever getting this job back, quite frankly. So
Well,
great to be with you guys.
I'll let you tell it. ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wildy joining us this morning. All right, man, big news in training camp. You got Jordan Love, who's not practicing with the team. He did report to camp, right? Is there significance in that? I mean, do you call this a holdout or what is it?
Yeah, it's a hold in.
Right, yes, I'm here, but I'm not doing any stuff.
Right, exactly. But guys, this is, and I think this is a really important thing. I mean, first of all, the NFLPA allowed the owners to push through this legislation in the last or two CBAs ago, where you are automatically fined for holding out, and that those cannot be rescinded. And so I know that influenced Davante Adams back in 2021 when, by all rights, he should have held out or held in. Like, the fact that he played out his contract is ridiculous. And I think we've heard Davante make some comments to those effects in recent weeks. So one of the reasons he's here, in the words of Marshawn Lynch, is I'm just here so I won't get fined. That's part of it. But it goes so far beyond that. And I want to tell you guys a story from the locker room yesterday. So myself and a couple of other beat writers are talking to Sean Clifford at his locker. And I asked Sean, hey, you and Jordan are tight. Did he give you any sort of a heads up that this was going to be the case, and he wasn't going to practice. He was going to come to meetings and everything else, watch practice, but that he was not going to practice. And Sean said, Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember which day it was, but he told me that this was the likely scenario. So Sean Clifford wakes up yesterday morning knowing that he is going to be running the number one offense for the Green Bay Packers. He gets ready for work, goes into the stadium, gets there at 7 o'clock. Okay, practice starts at 10:30. I think the team meeting was at 9. So he's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Hey, this is my big day.
Right, here we go.
Getting here early. He looks over, puts his stuff in his locker, looks over, and Jordan Love's backpack is in front of Jordan's locker. He's already in the building, meeting with Matt LaFleur, going over stuff. He's not practicing because of the risk, but he's doing everything else. And I thought Sean Clifford did such a great job of giving us insight into what that tells us about Jordan, that he's doing what's right for him. He has 1,000% backing of his teammates. Christian Watson's line was, he should get every penny he deserves and more. So his team is united behind him. He's doing the difficult thing of not practicing, because the easy thing would be, okay, the coaches want me to practice, so I'm going to practice. So I think that tells you everything you need to know about this situation.
All right, let me just push back on that a little bit, Wildy. Maybe we shouldn't put this in real people terms, because this is a different industry. But, I've done how many contracts in my career, whatever. I can't fathom when I was in negotiations with TMJ4 for a new deal or what have you.
I'm not going on.
That I come to work at, 4 in the morning like I used to, but then when 5 o'clock comes for the news, I say, I'm here at work, but today I'm not anchoring on account of I don't have this new deal yet. Is it fair of us to, he's signed through the end of this year. He has a job.
Vince, I love you, man. Not as much as I love your brother.
But you're an idiot. That's not how this works.
But here's the difference, okay? So let's put this into again, real person terms. Like the three of us, we are all lucky to do what we do.
Yes.
But it's not like we're making the kind, like I know people think, oh, they're on the radio, they're kind of a big deal. We're not raking in the dough that some other more famous people are making, okay? But you, being the handsome guy you are, more handsome than Erik and I, you were on television for a long time. But think about and I don't know your salary structure, and I don't want to know your social security number and your credit card information. If you can get me that, I'd like to take that. But the reality is that at no point did you go to TV and you were making X number of dollars and you were waiting for your next contract, which would be worth 20 times that, and you were not in danger, unless I don't understand the structure of the set very well, of like
it's not terribly dangerous.
The lighting falling on top of you while you were delivering the news.
Okay.
And so the idea of Jordan Love going out there right now, and he's scheduled to make $11 million, but we're talking about him getting a contract $220, $250 million, and he's got. There was an instance of this yesterday in practice where, again, Sean Clifford was the one at quarterback. But, these defensive guys are all revved up. They're excited about the new system. They're not in pads. So they're not supposed to bull rush and crash into the offensive linemen. And that happened on a play, and one of the offensive linemen went flying back into Sean Clifford's lap. This is the kind of stuff that Jordan Love needs to avoid to stay safe. And so he's doing everything but practicing. But I will let him know that you think he should come to work.
Please, pass that on, would you? All right, my friend. Really appreciate you stepping up, Wildy. We'll talk again tomorrow.
All right, sounds good, guys. Take care. Be good.
Yeah, I think he just tweaked something in his camp. I don't know if it.
Listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Michael Quizon is the IT systems administrator at Great Midwest Bank.
Before switching to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems, they had a printer problem.
We talked to James Imaging. We said, we need to take down the number of printers that we have. What can we do?
The experts at James Imaging Systems researched your printing process, overall workflow, costs, supplies.
So we went from probably 120, 130 printers down to 50 some odd printers.
And
our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
Michael, the benefit as the bank's IT systems administrator?
I don't have to deal with printers. One less thing on my plate.
Anything to add about your experience?
In terms of James Imaging, they've been a great partner.
Switch to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Old rivals face off one more time to settle the score.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Trevor McGill gets tough.
The Brewers are in Chicago to take on the Cubs. Our coverage starts tonight at 6 with Brewers warm-up on your home for the Brewers. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
8:01, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News, Tuesday, July 23rd. Our top story, Milwaukee returns to the political spotlight.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Delta damage control.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, westbound on 94, slowing down right around Calhoun. Basically, we've got a broken down semi off on the right shoulder. Not in traffic, but enough to cause a bit of a backup. Eastbound's going to be slow out of the Zoo interchange all the way through to about 35th Street. And the northbound 43 backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Scattered storms likely today. Humid conditions at a high of 82 degrees. Chance for scattered storms once again tonight, low down to 65. Milwaukee temp at 72. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision, Wisconsin, Vice President Kamala Harris due to visit Wisconsin later today.
This will be Vice President Harris's first appearance in Wisconsin since she became the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party following President Joe Biden's decision to drop out of the race over the weekend. The White House says Harris will land at Milwaukee Mitchell International around 11:30 this morning before heading to a political event to deliver remarks. A location for the event has not yet been made public. The visit comes as Wisconsin Democratic Party Chair Ben Wickler says more than 90% of the state's delegates are supporting Harris. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
And the campaign cash is now pouring in to Vice President Harris's bid.
Vice President Harris's political campaign raised $100 million in just over a day since she announced she was in the race for the White House. The money came into the campaign, the DNC, and their joint fundraising committees. Harris hits the campaign trail today for her first rally as the presumptive Democratic nominee, traveling to Milwaukee, where Republicans just held their convention. She'll be joined in that critical battleground state by several of its top Democratic leaders, including the governor, Tony Evers, and Senator Tammy Baldwin, who's running for re-election. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
Neighbors say they're finding bullet holes in their homes after the mass shooting at Deneen Park on Milwaukee's west side left 9 people shot, 1 person killed. TMJ4's Jenna Ray talking with neighbors.
Growing up, it was a place for kids.
For Valerie Sauvé, Deneen Park is home.
I most recently have lived here 32 years, but actually lived here most of my life. Our family moved in here in 1963.
An emotional start to her week after learning one teenager was killed and several more were injured from a shooting just across from her house.
It's usually people from outside the neighborhood which are causing problems. And to have something like this happen is devastating.
17-year-old girl was killed by the gunfire. Authorities have not announced any arrests.
4 days after a global computer outage that caused chaos around the world, some airline passengers remain stranded this morning. Most airlines have recovered, but Delta struggling. Canceling flights yet again. CBS correspondent Chris Van Cleve.
Since the CrowdStrike software outage began Friday morning, Delta has canceled over 5,300 flights and hundreds more on its regional partners, stranding people across the country and around the world.
Now, 8 of Delta's 38 flights today in and out of Milwaukee Mitchell are either canceled or delayed.
Herbie mentioned the scattered storms possible today. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore says the rain and storms will come in a couple of waves. One should be around mid-morning here in southeast Wisconsin. Another coming late afternoon into the evening. reignited by some midday sunshine.
Some of these could have some really heavy downpours. They're going to be slow movers. They're not very fast because this cold front is moving very slow. So they're going to hang around a little bit through this evening. There could be some heavy rain, some small hail, gusty winds, but the severe weather threat looks very, very low for today.
And not everybody's necessarily going to see that rain. Definitely starting to get to a point where you could use a little.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't take long to get a little dry out there. Coming up, a dynamic duo could bring a boost to the box office. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:05.
Whether you're an active or passively active home shopper, our agents want you to be completely up to date with what's out there and what's brand new to the market. With our instant emailed MLS updates, you'll never miss out on what could be the home of your dreams. All you have to do is call and tell us where to search, give us a price range, and soon you'll be totally in tune with your desired real estate market. Remember, MLS searches show you everything. Some of the other real estate sites don't. So call Benefit Realty today, where you'll pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com. 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission. You can't find a lower rate of commission, and you won't be able to find better knowledge, service, and real estate expertise than you'll find with our agents at Benefit Realty. Because I know that's what you expect. Now, I'm not sure you'll be able to find the highest caliber of agents everywhere, but I can promise that's what you'll get here. So choose Benefit Realty to exceed your expectations, and you'll pay less for more. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Get sale discounts store-wide all month long. What a great time to shop for all of your Christmas needs. Get your holiday decor and so much more, along with all the great bargains we always have for you. It's Christmas in July at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
Investigators still looking into what caused a fatal plane crash on Monday near EAA AirVenture in Oshkosh. Day one of that week-long exhibition, the crash killed 2 on board the plane. This was just south of the airfield. Steve Zillich telling TMJ4 News he's visiting from Baltimore and saw it.
We looked down to the south and saw the smoke coming up over the trees. It was a small plume at first, and then it rapidly intensified to a larger plumes.
Winnebago County Sheriff's Office confirmed the plane was engulfed in flames when they got to the scene. Cause of that crash under investigation by the FAA and NTSB.
Helicopter crash in southwest Wisconsin. Helicopter crashing into a field north of Cuba City in Lafayette County. It struck a telephone line. The pilot is okay. Pilot from Georgia, the only person in the chopper.
Excitement building over what's expected to be one of the highest grossing films of the year. Coming out in a few days.
Fans of Deadpool and Marvel counting down the hours until they can see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Wait, Wilson? Who's asking?
The film almost in theaters and expected to break records this weekend. I asked producer Wendy Jacobson what she's most excited for fans to experience when they finally get to see it.
That's a really hard question to answer without spoiling it. I mean, the truth is, having these 2 characters together on screen, that's something that I'm most excited for people to see. That's something for me as a fan personally that I'm so excited to see.
Marvel is owned by Disney, the parent company of ABC News. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
And the Deadpool movies are a little bit different, too. They can be raunchy and they're silly. There's a humor element to it that makes them a little bit more attractive to some viewers.
I never quite got into Marvel Universe. A little bit more DC, and even some of the late Batmans I didn't catch up on.
I don't know if I count these as Marvel. It's Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, basically.
I still got to see Twister, especially after talking to Niznansky.
Yeah.
Before Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky told us they were actually pretty legit in some of the storm chasing stuff.
Saying vector and hook.
Right, you're right. He said the terminology. I still like Niz as the one in the theater, just like speaking a little bit too loud. Like, well, that would never happen.
Those aren't cumulus clouds.
The vortices of that would never hold together for that duration of time. Well, he said he wasn't, but I don't know.
You're not buying it.
8:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Wow, Wayne, that is a beautiful window.
It sure is, Jeff. It really tackles energy efficiency.
Sure has a nice slide.
It's one of the best screenplays I've ever seen.
They're so easy to close. I'd say it's a grand slam.
If you guys keep making those dad jokes, you're going to be a real pain in my neck.
Oh, that's a good one. Did you hear about this one?
While those two go on and on, let me share something that is not a joke. Order today from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and pay as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. The installation is completed with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. A new patio door or front door makes for the perfect backstop. How is that one, guys? Ugh, they're gone. Jeff and Wayne love doing the Irish goodbye. Anyway, moving on from the dad jokes, don't miss this great deal from Pella. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply at 7/31/2024.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
You're hearing it every day. Another political ad, another agenda. But no matter what happens in this election or the next, you still have the power to control your financial future. Elections can impact a lot of things, including the stock market, inflation, and taxes. And if you're thinking about retirement, I'd love to get you our Retirement Ready Toolkit to prepare you for the retirement you've always envisioned. Our team of advisors at Drake & Associates will show you how your savings might be affected and what you can do now to help prepare. Don't let this election or any election control your retirement future. Call or text PREPARE to 414-441-5451 to get your complimentary Retirement Ready Toolkit. That's PREPARE to 414-441-5451.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Loft Financial Advisory Group, LLC, a Wisconsin insurance agency. Clients are under no obligation to purchase any recommended insurance products.
Traffic is sponsored by Seton Fun Fest this weekend at St. Elizabeth and Seton, 127th and Howard in New Berlin. Seton Fun Fest is one of the most affordable church festivals of the summer. 4 bands, great food, kids games, and jump yards. Grounds open at 5 p.m. this Friday in New Berlin.
At 8:12, an update on your morning drive. Debbie.
Okay, going to be a slow one southbound 43 from Silver Spring, pretty much all the way down past Capitol Drive. Northbound slow from Fond du Lac up to Keefe. Westbound 94, you'll see the brake lights right out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. A couple other pockets of heavy traffic through Waukesha County, making your way over to Calhoun. On the eastbound side, backing up from the Zoo interchange all the way through the stadium to about make that 35th Street. And then on northbound 4394, that's slowing down around the Plainfield curve all the way up past Oklahoma Avenue up to the KK River. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Scattered storms likely today. Not everybody's going to get wet, but somebody's could get a little bit of rain. Humid high of 82 degrees. Those scattered storms continue into the afternoon and evening hours with a low down to 65. Right now at 73 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
8:13 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we're going to talk with TMJ4 News Chief Political Reporter Charles Benson about the visit of Vice President Kamala Harris today. It'll be her first since becoming and they're using the term, presumptive Democratic nominee for president. So we'll break that down with Charles, what's ahead for her, for us here in Milwaukee and Southeast Wisconsin today.
Most of us didn't know her name 2 weeks ago. Now there are calls across the country for her to step down. Kimberly Cheadle, the director of the Secret Service, is being asked and told to resign after the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. It's coming from both sides of the aisle.
Cheadle revealed that a local SWAT team spotted Thomas Crooks on the roof of that warehouse about 18 minutes before Trump took the stage.
On July 13th, we failed.
Cheadle says the Secret Service was alerted between 2 to 5 times about a suspicious person before the first shot was fired.
I take full responsibility for any security lapse of our agency.
But Cheadle says Crooks was not considered a threat until seconds before the shooting.
Even after this historic failure under her watch, Cheadle was insistent that she would not step down, treading very carefully And some of her answers before that House committee, top Republican and Democrats both just grilling her. Wouldn't really answer a lot of questions, basically because the investigation is still underway. I have to admit, I was a little surprised that she was already up on Capitol Hill because it's still a very fresh situation, although maybe that was the point.
Well, and there are some questions you can answer.
That's true.
Like, for starters, how the hell?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Which is largely what this was about.
Were any Secret Service agents on the roof where gunman Thomas Crooks fired those shots? She wouldn't answer that. Did the gunman fly a drone over the area before the rally began? There's been talk that happened, and she would not. She pivoted away from those. She did say that the FBI had told her about the possible drone, but it was still being investigated, so they really couldn't get into that. Calling it a colossal failure, but not wanting to step down. I thought this was very interesting. Listening to this. This is Congressman Ro Khanna, a Democrat. Listen to what he asks. He brings up the Reagan assassination attempt from 40 plus years ago.
Would you agree that this is the most serious security lapse since President Reagan was shot in 1981 of the Secret Service?
Yes, sir, I would.
And, do you know what Stuart Knight did when he was in charge at the time of the Secret Service? Do you know what he did? Afterwards?
He remained on duty.
He resigned.
She thought he remained on duty. I can't figure out whether or not she actually thought that or if she was just assuming that that's where Ro Khanna was leading her at that moment, that congressman. But he stepped down. He stepped down because the president was almost killed. He continued.
Look, I'm not questioning your judgment. I just don't think this is partisan. If you have an assassination attempt on a president, a former president, or a candidate, you need to resign. That's what Stuart Knight did. He was a Republican appointee, and he took responsibility. And I think you need to reflect. This is not a question of you. It's a question of the American people. You cannot go leading a Secret Service agency when there is an assassination attempt on a presidential candidate. I would say that about anyone.
So as of now, she refuses to step down. Impeachment talk is now buzzing on Capitol Hill.
I'm frankly less interested in that end of the conversation and more interested day to day on new details, new information about the shooter. I feel like we know very little about him.
Right, I agree.
And we were talking earlier, like if this were a school shooter, we'd know everything about his background. We would have heard from friends, people who knew him. And I'm not saying there's been no reporting on that, but it just seems odd.
It seems oddly vague.
Lack of detail about him, about a motive, about his trail before he got to that moment. In fairness, last week we were very distracted by what was going on here in Milwaukee with the Republican National Convention. But I feel like there are a lot of missing pieces here. And I don't know, is there a gusto to go out and get that? Is it like...
Boy, I hope so.
Right?
We definitely have an appetite to learn more about Crooks.
The number of touch points that he had apparently with law enforcement, Secret Service or otherwise, in that moment or in that time before he actually fired those shots is extraordinary. The things that they saw and witnessed that put them on their radar. Amazing. Why wasn't anything done? Why don't you hold the former president then for a minute until you got things figured out? If you've got your eye on some guy and then he's not there and you can't see him, hang on a second, right? I mean, these seem like basic things.
Right, just to say, hey, pull back, let's have the
what
former president back off stage.
What happened to that guy with the rangefinder that we found? What happened to that guy who was walking suspiciously out around here? What happened to that guy that you were watching that we were a little worried about? Does anyone have eyes on him? And why still it was like, meh, I don't know. Or was there lack of communication between the various entities? It's not just Secret Service there. As we learned, if you were here in Milwaukee, you have police officers from all over the country. Now, this is a smaller event, obviously, but you have local law enforcement, you have police, you have sheriff's office, you have maybe people from outside communities, plus Secret Service. So you got a lot of different people that got to talk to each other. But was it a breakdown within there? I just feel like it's far enough away that we should have more detail. And at this point, we don't. 8:19 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Debbie, what do you see on the roads here?
Well, I'm seeing some backups, that's for sure. Northbound 43 is backing up around the North Avenue curve all the way up to Keefe. Southbound has got some heavy traffic from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Westbound 94 hitting the brakes at 16th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes heading past Moreland Road. And the eastbound side is slowing from the Zoo interchange to about 35th. And westbound 894 slow just before 27th Street, stretching all the way to 68th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch.
Go to a place of safety now. A tornado warning is in effect.
The danger in the thunderstorm alone is definitely there. We have wind gusts towards 50 miles per hour and lots of lightning in this storm system.
Keeping you updated on the weather so you can keep you and your family safe with severe weather coverage on WTMJ. Sponsored by Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
You know what a great time is to have an HVAC guy out to your house to have a look at your air conditioner unit? Week like this one, before it's in the mid-90s again and humid, and your thing is cranking and just barely hanging on for dear life. Get Absolute Comfort HVAC and electrical out to your house this week. Still spots for an air conditioner tune-up. It's Brent and his son Drew. Maybe one or the other will come out to the house, check out your air conditioner unit, clean everything out, get it running efficiently, which not only saves you money, but also reduces the stress on that unit so it will continue to cool your home through these summer months. We're definitely going to hit some hot and humid weather once again. We'll get a little bit of a break from that this week. So it's a great time to get Absolute Comfort HVAC and electrical out to your house. You can book an appointment now before your unit breaks down. Absolute Comfort HVAC and electrical. Tell them Vinny sent you. They love to hear it. It's 262-664-9284. Your Comfort Guys. That's yourcomfortguys.com.
The little one just took her first steps. Her stride? Wobbly.
Oh my gosh, she's doing
Her parents? Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, watch out.
But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score for Choice and Platinum Choice checking customers. So while you're monitoring and protecting her every move, you can do the same for your credit score too. You've got this with free credit score from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Big savings are here, thanks to Senator Dan Fine. He helped cut property taxes by $11 billion, making home ownership more affordable. That's not all. His efforts slashed income and franchise taxes by nearly $17 billion. Call 608-266-5300 and thank Senator Fine for keeping your money where it belongs, in your wallet. Remember, when your money's on the line, you can count on Senator Dan Fine. Paid for by the Wisconsin Realtors Advocacy Fund.
I was stuffed up. It was almost like someone put a clothespin over my nose. As an athlete, it did affect my performance. And as I got older, the congestion and poor sleep really took their toll.
Mike's a lifetime athlete. After hearing about Advent, he felt he could finally find a solution to his breathing triangle problems.
With my congestion, the kind of sleep I was getting wasn't allowing me to function the way I wanted to.
When your nose isn't working like it should be, it's going to negatively affect your sleep. And then you really can't be at your best at anything that you're doing.
It's been about 5 years since coming to Advent, and what balloon sinuplasty did for my quality of life, that step I took was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Balloon sinuplasty can help solve your breathing triangle problems, which will help you sleep better, and that's going to help you live a better quality of life.
Unlock your potential. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
8:23 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Took less than 48 hours to have the words presumptive nominee attached to Vice President Kamala Harris' name. I'm a little bit surprised at the speed with which that occurred. Or am I not at all surprised? You had two options if you were the Democrats after President Biden's announcement on Sunday. You either say, look, it's really important for us to make this look like a full-out process, to invite other candidates to do the thing, or we got to make this fast. Everybody get on board. This is the nominee. We're going to elevate her. And it appears the latter is what occurred.
They followed the president's lead, it appears, per se. And now they have enough delegates have now pledged their commitment to the VP, including here in Wisconsin. Here's the Democratic Party Chair, Ben Wickler.
More than 90% of Wisconsin's 95 delegates have already pledged their support for Vice President Harris at the convention.
And Wickler also says he doesn't know of any delegates who are going to vote against Harris at this time.
Chief political reporter for TMJ4 News here in Milwaukee, Charles Benson, is live with us this morning. Charles, to my point on how the Democrats played this following the president's announcement, any surprise that it was the quick rush to support VP Harris versus making it seem like this was an actual process?
I am not surprised that they are quickly coalescing around VP Harris. I mean, I thought that would have been the strategy all along, and it makes a lot of sense for one big reason: money. She needs to be on the ticket to help with the campaign money that's already been raised with the Biden-Harris team. Now, she also, in Democratic circles, deserves it based on her time in office and her time with the president. So I think it was an easy choice, especially for the Wisconsin delegation, that they were already 100% around Biden. There wasn't really anybody except for Pocan calling for Biden to step aside. So when this all transpired within the last 48 hours, I suspected that this was where they were going to go. I think it's just amazing how quickly things have moved. I mean, on Sunday, we get the word that he's dropping out. By Monday, she's not only secured the Wisconsin delegates, but apparently has enough now to secure the nomination.
And the excitement that you can feel among the Democrats, Charles, I mean, to the point of did they do the right thing here? Apparently she's raised an additional $100 million already since that announcement. To clearly, in talking with Democrats who were really worried about a Biden candidacy, they're at least re-energized and optimistic and hopeful more so than they've been in months.
Absolutely. I mean, they've gone from talking about age and ability, about whether he's going to stay in, if he's going to drop out. I mean, that was the narrative. He was trying to close the door on that narrative that he insisted, Joe Biden insisted he was staying in. He was staying in, yet the question grew louder and louder as he was trying to make his closing argument on trying to beat Donald Trump. So he never was able to close the door. And when this moment happened, the surge, and I think that's the best word to use it, the surge towards Vice President Harris was just almost instantaneous. And so here we are, another fast-moving moment in American politics. And a lot of it's going to unfold in Milwaukee in a few hours when she makes her first campaign stop.
What do we know about her trip today?
I'm guessing it's going to be a rally to sort of, look past the moment here in terms of what Joe Biden has been able to accomplish and where they need to go. I always say these speeches can be defining moments, so I'm looking to see how much she sort of relates to the moment, the historic moment of not only what's happened in the last 24, 48 hours, but the historic moment for her as an African-American woman who's now at the top of the ticket. So there's so much to see and unpack here. And then lay the case out for, where she wants to go. Will she start defining some moments that she is a little bit different on than Joe Biden? How much does she hold on to his policies and start carving out her own agenda and her own vision for the country?
The president spoke yesterday via phone at her announcement when she chatted with the staff there at the Delaware headquarters for president. And Biden made a comment that both Vince and I thought was kind of interesting, Charles. He said, hey, I'm going to be out there with you, as if he were going to campaign with the VP. What do you make of that?
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. It would not be surprised by that. Joe Biden likes the campaign. He loves the campaign. I mean, when he was in Madison about a week after that debate, you saw a scripted Joe Biden who just, was energized by the event. And when you go to these campaign rallies, and this is why I always encourage people, to go to rallies, you just get a different vibe than, you get the entire speech, you get the entire moment. And there's a lot of, cheering and holding up signs. So I am not surprised that Joe Biden has made that decision. And, I see him being out there almost as much as the vice president.
You would expect, Charles, to that point, for folks here in Wisconsin to have a lot of opportunities to attend a rally if indeed they're public here in the next few months. Going to see Trump, going to see Vance, going to see Harris, whoever her VP nominee ends up being. They'll be here in Wisconsin. What do you think these future events will look like, however, in terms of accessibility to people? It probably has a lot to do with the attempt on the former president's life like just a little over a week ago. But like this event, for example, there's like no public reporting on where it is. It's not one of these things where, hey, tickets are available or anything like that. Are we going to see those big public events on either side of the aisle here in Wisconsin?
I'm waiting to see that. You're right. I mean, things changed after the assassination attempt on the former president. And, I go to these events all the time and see a lot of security. So the checking in, the getting, being there early to get all of your equipment screened. I mean, these are just normal procedures that have happened. And anyone who went inside Fiserv Forum last week knows just how much security can surround these political events. So did they change? My guess is they have. And it would be unfortunate from the standpoint because the outdoor rallies can hold a lot more people than the indoor rallies. And as more and more people want to participate in these things, it may be harder and harder to secure that ticket or the effort or the ability to get into one of these events.
TMJ4's Charles Benson with us this morning. Thanks for the perspective, Charles. Enjoy your very busy day once again. Right back at it.
All right, yes, here we go again.
Thanks, Charles. 8:31 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
It's summertime, the temperatures are hot, and so are the deals at Hiller Ford. This month is Truck Month at Hiller Ford. We are offering factory rebates of $6,000 on all remaining 2023 Ford F-150s and 0% financing on 2024 F-150s. If you're looking for a Ford Super Duty truck, we have over 30 to choose from. It's a great time to get a great deal during Truck Month at Hiller Ford. Stop in and see why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct Summer Sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday, get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
Hey, John Mercure here for Landworks Wisconsin, locally owned landscape company that's fantastic. I know because they're doing the work in my yard. From their crews to the design consultants to the admin team, they're going to take great care of you when you're taking care of your home or your business. Joe, the guy working at my house, made a good observation. He was out there the other day and said, hey, what about bulbs? They're beautiful in the spring. Think about getting on the schedule for the fall today. You want a beautiful yard next year? You need to put some work into it this year. They are the real deal. LandworksWisconsin.com. Check it out. LandworksWisconsin.com.
Hi, I'm Susan Hiller from Hiller Ford. Does your car, truck, or SUV need a tune-up, new brakes, or battery check? Our experts in the service department do it all, on all makes and models. We offer free pickup and delivery, and we even have a mobile service that can come to your location and perform some services right at your home or office. That makes it easy for you to keep doing what you want to do and get your vehicle serviced. Give us a call at Hiller Ford and let us be of service to you.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
8:33, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, July 23rd, our top story, kicking off the campaign in Milwaukee.
I'm Erik Bilstad, extending an offer to MPS.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Eastbound 94 backed up out of the Zoo interchange, stretching all the way to about 35th. The westbound side's heavy out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 43 around the North Avenue curve, you'll see delays all the way up to Keefe. Southbound is also backed up from Silver Spring down to Keefe. And then on westbound 894, backed up from 27th Street, pretty much out past 68th. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Scattered storms possible today. Humid conditions with a high of 82 degrees. And those scattered storms continue into tonight, low down to 65. Milwaukee temp at 73. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, Decision, Wisconsin, Vice President Kamala Harris making a visit to the state today.
This will be Vice President Harris's first appearance in Wisconsin since she became the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party following President Joe Biden's decision to drop out of the race over the weekend. The White House says Harris will land at Milwaukee Mitchell International around 11:30 this morning before heading to a political event to deliver remarks. A location for the event has not yet been made public. The visit comes as Wisconsin Democratic Party Chair Ben Wickler says more than 90% of the state's delegates are supporting Harris. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
TMJ4 Chief Political Reporter Charles Benson tells Wisconsin's Morning News just moments ago that the quick coalescence around the VP by Democrats makes sense considering the campaign money at stake.
She needs to be on the ticket to help with the campaign money that's already been raised with the Biden-Harris team. She also, in Democratic circles, deserves it based on her time in office and her time with the president. I think it was an easy choice, especially for the Wisconsin delegation.
Much more on the Harris visit throughout the day right here on WTMJ.
This story developing this morning, the director of the U.S. Secret Service now the target of an impeachment effort following that hearing into the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump. Frustrated members of both parties. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
The impeachment resolution charging dereliction of duty was put on the floor by South Carolina Republican Nancy Mace.
Kimberly A. Cheadle, in her conduct as director of the United States Secret Service, failed to protect Donald J. Trump.
Earlier at a hearing Monday, Mace used an expletive.
You're full of today.
To describe Cheadle's refusal to answer questions about what happened in Butler, PA. The calls for Cheadle's ouster are now bipartisan, with Democrats also saying she should resign. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Investigators are looking into what caused a deadly plane crash on Monday near the EAA AirVenture Air Show in Oshkosh on the first day of AirVenture. That crash killed 2 people. It happened in the town of Nikimi. Steve Zulich saw it all happen. He talked to TMJ4 News.
We looked down to the south and saw the smoke coming up over the trees. It was a small plume at first, and then it rapidly intensified to a larger plume.
The NTSB is investigating the cause of that crash.
Milwaukee Public Schools continue its search for a long-term leader. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson says he is eager to work with the district.
I have said that I want to be a part of that process when we whittle down the field to the final, 4 or so, or whatever that looks like, to be a part of those conversations.
Mayor Johnson tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News he hopes the permanent superintendent will continue to work with local businesses to help show MPS students opportunities in the trades.
Every single kid needs to support themselves, support their family, have a roof over their head. And so we got to make sure that every single opportunity that's available to our kids is known to them.
The mayor saying he wants the next superintendent to be community-driven and able to make hard choices. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Eduardo Galvan, meanwhile, has been named interim superintendent. MPS working on a national search for a permanent leader.
Time now for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything's starting down. Here's the bell just rang. The Dow is down 57, the NASDAQ starting down 7, and the S&P is down 2. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:37.
Traffic brought to you by 2 Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at 2menandajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Every great Midwest bank branch has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Michael Quizon is IT Systems Administrator. Michael, the bank has a slogan.
We are called Simply Local. We're a Simply Local bank.
And your business technology company, James Imaging Systems, has been a 100% locally owned and managed company right here in Wisconsin for over 40 years.
They're more like a partner to us.
In what way?
We call on them at any point, they're there. We ask them any questions that we have, they were there.
James Imaging Systems, document imaging technology, and local service and support.
We can get our printers up and running right away if we have any issues. We can do our business without any downtime at all.
The benefit to Great Midwest Bank?
Efficient operations, time savings on my end. There's no other partner that we can bring on.
Start your partnership with James Imaging Systems today. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Have you been to the Hounds and Tap yet? In Menominee Falls, this state-of-the-art facility and the ultimate hangout for hounds and humans. Grab a drink at the indoor-outdoor tavern, let your dogs hang out. You can even book professional grooming services, from pedicures to full spa treatments. Every day is a play day at the Hounds and Tap. Hang out with your dog and others, or drop your dog off for doggy daycare or doggy boarding services. Check out thehoundsandtap.com. That's thehoundsandtap.com.
You know Fleet Farm's got everything for everyday life. But did you know we also have the best prices guaranteed every day? Like 40 pounds of Diamond Crystal Softener Salt, on sale now for just $5.69. Or a 40-pound bag of black oil sunflower seed, on sale for $17.49. And on the odd day you find a lower price, we'll match it. Any day, every day. Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life, all at the best prices. Guaranteed.
.841 of Wisconsin's Morning News. Eric's beside himself because the U.S. team has not yet announced the flag bearer.
I'm a little frustrated by this.
We knew LeBron James is going to be one of the flag bearers for the United States for the opening ceremonies in Paris on Friday.
And they said that a female flag bearer would be announced today.
All morning in here. I can't believe they haven't.
It has not been all morning. I have mentioned it maybe 8 or 9 times.
Thought we'd know by now. We'll find out, I promise.
Meanwhile, we're told that everyone loves the Olympic Village, but no one's allowed in the Olympic Village. It's basically athletes and some coaches, but otherwise no one else can get in there. So it's not like moms and dads can show up there. You can't have your little brother helping you carry your microwave up to the room in the Olympic Village.
You guys can leave. God.
Do they have an orientation for everybody? Like, where they all get into one of the corner rooms of the dorm,
yes,
just like
you have
in college.
Hall monitor or whatever, right? RA. Right.
Anyway, they are talking more about the cardboard beds.
Diver Tom Daly posting about the cardboard beds athletes will have to sleep on.
As you can see, it's like a box. Then you've got the mattress, and then these cardboard boxes here, like so, with the mattress on top and a mattress topper.
Paris organizers have said the beds were chosen for environmental reasons, not to discourage athletes from having, say, too much fun.
They're pretty sturdy.
Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, Paris.
Yes, there was some thought.
No worries about that, mate. Checked it.
We're worried about athletes having too much fun, if you know what we mean.
That's said to be a thing.
Oh, yeah. That's Yep. It's not unprecedented to.
Another reason, like you said, they like the Village. And nobody there to see it or talk about it.
Anyway, all
a refuge of sorts
are on Paris for the big opening ceremonies, which start Friday night.
The boxes are fine, though, right? It's just the base.
Yeah, he said they're sturdy.
Sleeping on cardboard.
No, they are athletes, so they need a little bit something better. But I'm sure
you expect a nice mattress.
I would hope so.
You know what I mean, Deb? Okay.
Yep. Okay, westbound 94. We got some backups from about 25th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. By the way, a broken down vehicle northbound 175 just north of I-94 off on the right shoulder. Might be tightening things up just a little bit. Eastbound 94, slow out of the zoo all the way to 35th Street. Southbound 43, watch for delays from Silver Spring, pretty much all the way down past Capitol Drive. Give yourself a little extra time all the way down to about Center Street. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
So the body knows that it needs to heal itself, but it doesn't know how to concentrate it and target it into just one area. So that's where we come in.
By we, Dr. Ashley Caravelli means the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, QC Kinetics.
We put in those treatments, then it sends out like little signalers to your body. We're able to make the body focus on the areas that need the most healing.
QC Kinetics has gathered brilliant medical minds like Dr. Caravelli and Dr. Mitchell Scheinkupp, a pioneer in the field of regenerative medicine, to lead the way in these innovative pain treatments.
So at QC Kinetics, we have a whole team working nationwide with cutting-edge research to reach our patients and treat them and know that surgery is no longer their only option.
The consultation is free. Find out if you're a candidate. Call QC Kinetics today.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Vince Vitrano for Johnson & Sons Paving. It's going to happen. I had some folks asking E, like, hey, what happened? I thought you were going to pave a parking lot with Johnson & Sons.
That's right.
The whole thing. We're in talks and negotiations right now to choose a date and location.
And whatever tool you might be using, right? That's being negotiated.
It's been discussed that I may mount some heavy equipment.
Excellent.
Like maybe... I talked to Jason Johnson over there.
Okay.
Right? And he's like, yeah, I mean, the guys said they want to get you up on the paver. I'm like, listen, man, you don't have to do that. This is your deal.
No, get up there.
I'll do it if you want, but I don't know that the customer wants that. Okay. So I'm excited about it. It's going to happen. Report more information as we get it. Meanwhile, for your commercial parking lot or your drive, those potholes, those cracks, they're not going to get better. In fact, they're going to keep getting worse. You want to get Johnson & Sons Paving out there for an estimate. No commitment. Just get the team out there. They'll survey the property, talk with you about what your needs are, what's your budget, and then propose solutions that can fit that budget. Asphalt and concrete, plenty of Johnsons over there. No subcontractors. It's johnsonsonspaving.com.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This radio commercial was made to convince you to stop speeding. We can't use siren sound effects on the radio, so we'll use other equally jarring sound effects to get your attention. Like telling you that whether you drive a little over the speed limit or a lot, you can crash just the same. You could hurt yourself or worse, others.
I'm at the scene of the collision.
And the damage you cause will be beyond repair. See? We didn't have to use crash or siren sounds after all. Speeding catches up with you. Brought to you by NHTSA.
8:46 on Wisconsin's Morning News. EAA AirVenture in Oshkosh continues today. The week-long celebration of aviation kicking off Monday. That was a scorcher. I think it was an F-35 up. I was off in the distance trying to, like anytime you hear that, which one is that? Whoa, whoa. So a lot of that sound going for the daily air shows, including everything from aerobatics to fighter jets. Things kicked off, sadly, Eric, with a small plane going down. We reported on this in the news early in day one, right near the airport.
Do know that an airplane went down there. The Milwaukee Flight Standards District Office has informed us there were 2 fatalities because of that incident. We're still learning more information right now. And
so went to find EAA's Dick Napinski right away after I got on site. So I was up there with my son. We'd gone up to do a bunch of reporting there. And so as we're driving in, just north of Fond du Lac, and, I lived in Oshkosh for a year, worked in Green Bay for a number of years, covering EAA here as well, of course. And so I know the area, and we're just north of Fond du Lac, and I saw the black smoke.
Yeah.
I looked over at my son, and I just said, I don't like where that smoke is. It's got to be near the airfield. And sure enough, my fears were confirmed as we arrived. I'm like, that's just south of the airfield. And it turned out, in fact, yes, you had a small plane that crashed, 2 people dead, as you heard Napinski say there. FAA, NTSB are on site through this thing, so they're going to investigate and find out what happened. I mean, the reality is these things happen at EAA. How many people did you see, if you saw any social media on it, reacting in the same way, like, yep?
Yeah, it happens.
Right? But it happens because you have, look at the number, 10,000 aircraft are flying into East Central Wisconsin for this week. So it's sad, but the show goes on. These pilots, whether they're hobbyists or whether they're professionals, they understand that accidents happen in the air, and obviously you have the increased visibility because of EAA, but these things happen and the show goes on. So talked to a lot of folks out there. The convention, more than 600,000 entries expected for the week, so that would be 600,000 visitors at the gates. So you don't have an additional 500,000 plus people here, but because many people go for the week. Nonetheless, it's a huge deal. A lot of folks are there just to see airplanes. there's also a lot of folks who are super into the industry, whether they be hobbyists, whether they be people that are connected to manufacturers or whatever. So some of the stuff that's talked about there is really wonky. I was in this news conference with the CEO of EAA, and he's getting into like fuel additives, and there's this lobbying effort. We've been trying to get lead out of the jet fuel, and that's a big thing. And I'm looking over at my son. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Like at some point, it's going to get interesting for us. You have aviation reporters who report specifically for that. So, like, think of whatever you're super into. If it's a sport, if you're super into tennis, what's interesting to you being super into tennis is not interesting to most sports fans. So they get really into the weeds on some of the stuff.
It's not only entertainment. There's a lot of technical stuff that goes on here during the week.
I just want to see planes fly really fast. I can see that, right?
Airplanes fly really fast here. I tell you, we're going to have, they beat up the air and make a lot of noise. And so everything from the F-22, F-35, A-10s, the Canadian F-18 will be here. So we'll have all of that if you like the big, fast whiz-bang stuff.
And then again, Dick Napinski, he is the communications director for EAA, has been there since the Wright brothers' third flight. I think not right there. No, Dick's been there a long time and is super accessible and a really great guy to talk to. A lot of chances to get up close to, and in some cases, inside aircraft that are on display.
And there's like controls not only in front, but also behind and on the ceiling.
So it looks like that would probably be a pretty tough job.
Yeah.
Talking with his family, the little ones got up in the cockpit of one of these huge cargo planes. The C-17 Globemaster III is parked right out there in the tarmac, and you can go up in it. So you come in the back. These are the things that they carry heavy vehicles in.
It's massive.
Can do cargo drops and stuff, like, you know, with the parachutes where they airdrop stuff. So it's bigger than your house. And you can go inside it, and then they have the pilots and the crew standing out there to answer all of your questions. They're super friendly. They're so excited to tell you about what they do. A lot of folks from our Wisconsin Air National Guard out on scene. You had an F-35, one of the newer ones based out of Madison, parked there that you can get up pretty close to. One of the huge KC-135 Strato tankers for the refueling unit here, 128th in Milwaukee. So a lot of folks to talk to, answer your questions, tons to see. I got a whole bunch of stories to tell about EAA. We'll do that through the week here on Wisconsin's Morning News. AirVenture runs through Sunday. Gates open at 7 a.m. daily. One more check on the roads here before 9 o'clock, Deb.
All righty. Southbound 43, watch for the ride on the brakes from Silver Spring all the way down past Keefe. Northbound's backed up from North Avenue up to Keefe. Westbound on 94, slowing from about 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound heavy from 92nd Street all the way to 35th. Also got a pocket of heavy traffic on northbound 4394 from just north of Howard Avenue, pretty much all the way up past Oklahoma. And then westbound on 894, slowing from 27th Street all the way to 68th. And while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
He asked, if I could be a host on WTMJ's Wisconsin's Morning News, I think that would really be the pinnacle of my career.
So we answered. Jeff Levering is our Brewers 360 guest every Wednesday at 7:45.
I don't know how I could call a game without the suggestions I get from Erik and Vince.
So in Arizona, you could drop I was in the pool if the ball lands in the little pool.
Oh, outstanding.
If they hit a home run. So there you go. You're welcome.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Holiday Automotive.
High interest rates and low inventory. It's making it pretty tough to get into a new house these days. Vince Vitrano for Inspired Closets Milwaukee. Got an idea that you can get started on right now, and then an offer that's good for this month only to make your home that you're in right now so much more pleasant to be in. Getting Inspired Closets in to reimagine any space in the house, from the garage to the pantry to, of course, your closets or even a full bedroom and a living space. Less clutter, fully functional, organized, and then beautiful as well. And when it does come time to sell, now you're going to get a return on that investment. To make it even more affordable for your project right now, Katie and Dan, local wife-husband team at Inspired Closets, they are offering for our Wisconsin's Morning News fans 10% off the cost of your project, plus 12 months of free financing. It's not an and or, it's a plus. This deal good until the end of July when you tell them Vinny sent you. And it's no pressure. You get Katie and Dan and their team in your home, see what you can dream up together. You may be in your home for a while with how things are in the market, so let's get this project done now. You can start enjoying it and enjoy it for years to come. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
The Wisconsin State Fair is almost here. Are you ready for it? Snag your discounted admission tickets and more by July 26th. Don't forget your fair favorites like bargain books, cream puffs, Spin City Ride and game tickets, and the Wonder Fair wheel. Time's running out faster than a racing pig, so start planning your day. Feel good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, August 1st through 11th.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
WTMJ forecast brought to you by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Got to get through today and early tomorrow, and then we got a stretch of sunshine, high temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s Thursday, Friday, Saturday. For today, scattered storms likely, couple of waves late morning, and then once again this afternoon, some scattered storms developing. High of 82 degrees.
We need to clarify something about Jordan Love. We got to get something out there that I don't think people realize.
Okay.
He's at camp.
So he's not holding out. He's just not practicing.
He's just not practicing because he wants a new deal. And we had Jason Wilde on from ESPN Wisconsin. He was on instead of Mark Tauscher today because Tausch is off. And he shared a story that we both thought was just incredible about this situation. And it gives a little insight. So he was talking to Sean Clifford, who's a buddy of Jordan's, backup QB.
Right, number 2 on the depth chart.
Here's what he said. It's a minute long. Listen to this story that Jason Wilde shared with us earlier on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Myself and a couple of other beat writers are talking to Sean Clifford at his locker. And I asked Sean, hey, you and Jordan are tight. Did he give you any sort of a heads up that this was going to be the case and he wasn't going to practice? He was going to come to meetings and everything else, watch practice, but that he was not going to practice. And Sean said, Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember which day it was, but he told me that this was the likely scenario. So Sean Clifford wakes up yesterday morning knowing that he is going to be running the number 1 offense for the Green Bay Packers. He gets ready for work, goes into the stadium, gets there at 7 o'clock. Okay, practice starts at 10:30. I think the team meeting was at 9, so he's bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Hey, this is my big day.
Right, here we go.
Getting here early. He looks over, puts his stuff in his locker, looks over, and Jordan Love's backpack is in front of Jordan's locker. He's already in the building, meeting with Matt LaFleur, going over stuff. He's not practicing because of the risk, but he's doing everything else. And I thought Sean Clifford did such a great job of giving us insight into what that tells us about Jordan.
It's interesting. That really rang true with me because one of the last contracts I did with TMJ4 when I was there, we were close to a longer-term deal, and I wanted that deal to get done. And then so I came for a number of days. I came to work at my normal time, but then when it came time to anchor the news, I didn't go out there.
That's not true.
And I just said, I'm here. I'm doing a lot of the things. I'm talking to the people.
No,
I'm just not actually anchoring the news or writing anything. But I'm
not
here.
True.
Yeah, that's a true story.
That did not happen.
I know it's different.
No, you and him are the
sports.
same. No, you guys are
I
the
probably
same.
wasn't going to fall down and ruin my career at any time I anchored. Although there's precedent for that. And we'll leave it there for today. Tracy Johnson in.
There it is.
For the Political Power Hour on WTMJ next.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The national Raising Cane's chicken finger chain opens a new location in Green